Hello and welcome back to Hero Celebrity Clash League, the league with all of your favorite celebrities in the Heroes of the Storm community. My name is NotParadox, and I will be casting this lovely event. Here with me, world-renowned caster, the beard that's the envy of the entire dwarf race, the level 79 Asmodan, my friend Baha. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. You did a little research right there, didn't you?
maybe a little.
A little research, yeah. Definitely, the dwarven race is really angry about my beard. It's actually 88 Asmodan. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's actually, you got it right. Anyways, no, I'm super excited about this. We have another best of 3 for everyone this evening, and it is going to be between the members of our, I said it, it went away the moment I thought about it, but it's going to be easy money versus the members of, Down to Dongle, if I'm not mistaken. And this is going to be our second of 2 best of 3s. I got to say, these are some stacked teams.
Really,
wildly stacked.
This is going to be a massive game. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be major. So just so everyone knows, this is a round robin. We've talked about it earlier, but again, Baha, what is a round robin for us that don't know what that actually means?
We're going to be having 3 weeks of what we'll call regulation plays, where every team's going to play each other. So we're going to be having 2 best of 3s for the next 3 weeks. Everyone plays each other. Obviously, there are 8 teams, or excuse me, there are 4 teams. Dear Lord, caster math is kicking in. But in that 4th week, the 2 top teams after our round robin, because you will earn points by winning against other teams throughout the entire weeks. Whoever has the higher standings of the 2 will be able to then go into a best of 5 series in week number 4, and that will determine who will take the CCL. But right now, you can see in match number 1 that happened earlier today, Upstanding Citizens versus the KTLs, and the KTLs, as I like to say, the dark horse of this tournament or this league right now, they took that in a 2-0 fashion, and they looked fairly comfortable too. We interviewed them, and they said that they fear no one. They're gonna body Down to Dongle next weekend, as that will be their matchup. But right now, we're skipping too far ahead. We got easy money versus Down to Dongle, and I'm most excited about that one.
Oh, definitely. I think it's going to be it's going to be crazy. To talk just a little bit about what's in there, we will come back into the introductions of the team later. But we've got some big names, some Mochrie, some ZaneHyde, Tim, Heroes of Fitness. We've got KidKerrigan, KyleFergusson, Kiyeberries, Trikslyr, Selenityy, Vipey, Casanova. We've got a lot of them, and it's going to be a ton of fun. So let's get into the schedule. Let's talk a little bit about what we're going to be seeing over the next couple weeks. A few weeks anyways. We will be seeing so this current week we've already seen Upstanding Citizens versus the KTLs. We will be seeing Easy Money versus Down to Dongle. Next week we were going to be seeing Easy Money versus the Upstanding Citizens, and then we will see the KTLs versus Down to Dongle, and then we're going to see the inverse of all of those. The KTLs get to go against Easy Money, and Upstanding Citizens get to go against Down to Dongle. Then we're going to look at the seeding from all of these games, and we are going to look for these finals, grand finals, see who gets first place, see who gets all the fun stuff. And speaking of the fun stuff, let's talk a little bit about what is at stake. So there is a pretty good prize pool that is going to be available, and this prize pool is not just some flat cash right off the bat, but you guys can also support to increase this by donating, by subscribing, by giving some bits, by doing whatever you guys want to do to help out. There are a million ways you guys can help out, but that increases the prize pool while also making sure that the staff makes all of this run smooth. So keep that in mind. All subs are appreciated. All bits are appreciated. And just hanging out and being here is also appreciated. Keeps the viewing numbers up, keeps everything going well, keeps the whole event exciting. But on top of that, there's another way that you can help us out, which is our sponsor for this evening, which will also be the sponsor for the entire event, and that is Duke Cannon. Duke Cannon is the sophisticated company for hygiene. They have all sorts of hygiene tools and gizmos and all of that, including their big-ass bar of soap, which is it's like this big, this big. It's very, very big. It is a big ass bar of soap, and that comes in a wide variety of flavors, and my personal favorite is the freshly cut pine. But they do also have their highly rated beer flavor, which I got it. I ordered it. I haven't got it yet. I've been wanting to know why it's so highly rated because personally anyways, we'll get back to that later. So you can support them by heading over there, checking out their products. And you guys, just for being here, can save 15% by putting in HHE15 and you will save 15%. So thank you guys. Check out Duke Cannon for all of that. But also, we're doing a giveaway. And to join that giveaway, you'll have a chance to win some cool Duke Cannon gear. And to join that, you need to type in Dude Soap. No spaces. You can do whatever you want with the caps, though. Dude Soap in chat, and that will enter you into the giveaway.
I want to point something out really quickly, Paradox.
Go for it.
I'm watching chat as you're going through all of this, and people are saying, flavors. Is it edible? Here's the thing. Order a bar and then at me on Twitter, Bahamut Gaming, and let me know. How does it taste? Maybe that's the reason the beer one is so good, is because it actually tastes like beer. So think about that, chat. Think about that. Get yourself some Duke Cannon soap bars and come back and let us know how they taste.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? It could. Hey, if it tastes like a pine tree, I eat pine trees all the time. So I will know, and I'll try it out, and I will at you to see if it tastes just like the pine trees that I normally eat compared to the pine trees for Duke Cannon's pine. But, I mean, who knows? But yeah, I mean, you guys try it out. There's the beer flavor. See if it tastes like beer. I mean, come on. Try it out. I don't know.
Now, people are saying that don't eat soap in chat, which I don't know about that one. But as I said, tweet at me at Bahamut Gaming to find out. But right now, it looks like the teams are ready to go for our second best of 3 this evening. And, well, we're going to be finding ourselves on a familiar map here, Paradox. We're going to be heading to Volskaya Foundry.
Volskaya Foundry.
We just saw our first series terminate on that map. Do you think these teams will have the opportunity to take us to a third map, or do you kind of lean one way or the other? I'm curious. Let me pull from you. Oh dear God, Rackham again.
Rackham racking up the subs.
Seriously.
Look at that. That is crazy. Thank you, Rackham, and everyone feel free to thank him as well, especially if you got a sub from that. I see some lurkers in here that then got a little bit of subs there. As far as your question earlier, I would like to see, we have huge names on Team B, but we also have the undefeated team for Team D. We've got Team Down to Dongle, undefeated, easy money, huge names. I think we'll see Game 3. I really do.
Yeah, the other thing too to point out, we have KidKerrigan on one of these teams. She plays from Australia. Like I saw that there's some teams like oh man, we're on West server. She's playing from Australia. I don't think she gets good ping anywhere. Anyways, but all right, let's actually Tacit are going to be banned out as they probably don't want to deal with any sort of Task Tracer shenanigans. Maybe we actually see a Tracer ban out here, but Ariel to be removed as well. And who can blame him? I mean, we saw how much value Ariel can bring to a team in that game number 2 on Volskaya. Just constantly like, oh, cool, it's a 4v4. Wait, no, it's a 5v4. She got the resurrect, and now they've got 3 more kills. Like, it was consistently almost that in a lot of the fights. So now I'm wondering, without that here, what does the priority for our healer become? Are we going to be going into Ana? Are we going into Deckard Cain? Are we going into Alex Strauss? Are we going to Stukov? Because and Anduin, like those 5 pop up the most for me. But we have Deathwing banned out, Mouthfield being banned out, Cho'Gall's still up and available, and
there's the Uther.
That's main tank Uther right there.
There's a good chance of it. Either main tank or in the solo. Both work out really well. We do have Joanna and Ana being picked up very, very quickly. So they probably already have their plan of what they're doing on this map. Seeing Ana, that Nano Boost is usually the first thing that I think of. Malthael was already banned, and they still took Ana, which means that they really still have something in mind. Possibly a Jaina, possibly a Li Ming. Li Ming's very good on this map. As we saw previously when we just saw this map, Li Ming, 75,000 damage coming out from Kagiri playing Li Ming on this map. But we do have the Jaina and the Rhaegar that are picked up. We've seen Kiyeberries' Rhaegar before. It's very, very good. So
I actually expect there to be a Lucio to come out from Down to Dongle. They were actually talking about this earlier. Actually, McIntyre and Casanova were literally talking about this earlier about how strong Uther, another healer, and Lucio can be. So We might see that Lucio pop out. Also, really quickly, thank you so much for the tier 1 subscription. Thank you for the 8 months of support, Jinxie Cat. Thank you for supporting the league as well as the channel and all of this wonderful content. But ban-wise coming out on the opposing side, they need some sort of damage here, and there's going to be a Li Ming ban, which makes sense. Yeah, that makes so much sense.
And they already took the Jaina away, which means that of the picks that are really good with Ana, the majority of the nano boost targets have already been picked up. So, Falstad and Sylvanas. Mochrie on Sylvanas plays a pretty mean one. Falstad is a hero that you don't need to worry too much about ping, because your W just tracks on the target. Your Q is fired off pretty far out. So even if on 150 ping, you're pretty good. I think Gust is the only thing that can be a little questionable with high ping, but hey, so far so good. In order to answer this, I mean, they just need to complete their team composition. If you want that Lucio, that's an idea. Ooh, Kira and Zeratul.
So Kira for the solo lane. This is what at least that's what I'm assuming. I doubt we put. I have seen some teams play this like main tank Uther, but they throw them in the solo lane for the majority of the beginning of the game. And I'm just like, wait, what are you doing? No, like they're like, no, we want to finish Hammer the Lightbringer early. I'm like, you could do that in rotations. You absolutely can. But yeah, Kira for the solo lane is going to be pretty strong. Speaking of solo lane, the opposing side. I'm trying to think.
Well, Falstad could actually really dominate Kira.
Because the range into melee is.
I
love this.
I think that's pretty good too.
Yeah.
So the only thing that I'm a little questioning is just the nano pick. Unless Sylvanas is going mage build, the nano boost is a little questionable, which could mean we just don't go nano boost. That's an idea. Zeratul with Jaina is always a strong combo. Void Prison into Ring is game changing. So
Divine Storm, Ring.
Oh yeah. So I really like. Yeah. And I like Rhaegar with Uther as well, only because Rhaegar tends to heal a little light, and then Uther tends to heal a little light. So when you put them both together, it's like you have a full healer. And then you also bring in the utility that both of those bring to a game as well. So overall, I mean, as far as team comps go, I'm really liking Down to Dongle, but at the same time, I mean, Easy Money has some pretty crazy players. I mean, Zane on his main and Sylvanas being played by Mochrie. We've got a lot that can happen here that's going to be really, really strong. Starting it off, though, I will introduce the left side blue team. We've got Easy Money with Big Scoop playing Ana, ZaneHyde playing Joanna, KidKerrigan playing Falstad, Mochrie on the Sylvanas, and Torosk, which is KyleFergusson on Thrall, and Big Scoop is Tim from Heroes of Fitness.
On the right-hand side, we got the members of Down to Dongle. We've got Rhaegar being played by Dr. Pickle, Kiyeberries, if you will. Trikslyr's going to be on the Zeratul. We have Casanova on the Uther, Selenityy on the Jaina, and Vipey on the Kira. And that is going to be the members of Down to Dongle making their way into this mid lane for our first encounter here. Now, I was sitting as we were loading into this, and you were kind of giving your last thoughts, and while I do agree with them quite a bit, do you think in any way, shape, or form there's a possibility for a bloodlust here?
I mean, looking at that team comp, they would all benefit from it quite a bit, but I just don't think it's really needed. I think primarily, I think, yes, for the memes, it should definitely be picked. I just don't think it's really needed, and the Ancestral would be really beneficial. Quick mention, because of the patch that just happened, we do have some issues with the Observer. So the Observing should be fine, but there will be a little bit of overlap in the titles, which will be fixed next week. Just a quick point on that, but otherwise, everything else should be good. And into Volskaya, we've mentioned the strategies on Volskaya, so we won't go too far into them this time, but I will just mention a quick thing about it. This is a map that is heavily about the early camps, and both teams are taking their turret camps early. These are turrets that they can hold on to and use for the upcoming objectives. And then there is also the heal camp, which is often a little bit of a struggle for teams, which appears up at the middle portion of the map, north of the middle anyways. So we will be looking to see if either team makes a play for that healing or support camp, which is also very, very powerful for this first objective. We do have that Sylvanas on one team as well, which, like you mentioned, what does Sylvanas get at level 4?
Mercenary Queen, 60% buff. And that's going to be towards the siege camp in the top lane as well as the fortification camp. I don't believe it actually empowers the biotic emitter, which is what you're actually seeing the members of Down to Dongle.
It does not.
It doesn't. I think that's the only thing on the map it doesn't affect.
Yes.
So there is that factor right there, but this is just gonna be continued rotations between top and mid. She did go into that Mercenary Queen level 4, as you're seeing right there. When it comes to some of these questing talents, I'll do my best to keep you all up to date because you can't see them from the top bar, but at least just catching through or going through them really quickly. Mochrie on the Unfurling Shadows at 5 out of the uncapped. Well, it's uncapped, so we'll just leave it at that. We have 11 out of the 20 for the Echo of the Elements on the Thrall, 7 out of the 20 for the Fingers of Frost on Jaina, and 16 out of the 80 for the Silver Touch on Uther. And as those challenges get finished out or they get closer, I'll keep you up to date on those as well as whatever gets picked up as the game does progress. But we have our control point A popping up here in the next 25 seconds. Big Scoop going to be holding off for a couple seconds before grabbing that, just trying to delay this out as long as possible, which is actually a really, really smart tool because of the fact that they're delaying this out. It means that the enemy team has to rotate up to top lane during the objective phase to deal with this. Whereas, but they realize that they're not going for it, so they're like, no, Big Scoop, go get it. Casanova's over here. So they end up getting that right there. But now, did Casanova overextend? They should have a root from Thrall. There's going to be some Jaina damage to zone back the enemy team. Kier going to get a nice revolving sweep onto them. Vipey going to be able to back out right there. ZaneHyde tanks a bit of damage, should be able to cycle back, as that will be KidKerrigan getting the barrel roll away from Trikslyr. It also gets the blink away from them. And right now, we get ourselves onto control point A. And also, really quickly, I just wanted to note, for anyone that is wondering, Falstead currently has 44 stacks, or 2 stacks of the Wingman, so they can get that charge, but 0% on the Lightning Rod bonus damage right now. So right now, we do have 30% rising, but Paradox, I think that's going to change very, very soon with 7 talent here.
Oh, definitely. And we have some pretty cool things coming out at level 7s. I mean, Sylvanas in this particular build, this is when Sylvanas actually comes online. This is when Sylvanas becomes a real hero, is when you get that ability to press 2 buttons and immediately have a fully stacked enemy taking 25% increased damage, stacking your abilities and doing huge burst damage. While we do have things like Ancestral Wrath coming out from Thrall, so we could easily see Easy Money take back this point whenever they want to now that they have this level 7. The downside is that they're still going against a team that does have a heal camp. The heal camp is dropped down, some damage flies out, heal camp is immediately killed, but look at all this damage that's happening to Easy Money. They are almost all dead, and they need to get back onto this point and force overtime to last a little bit longer. Zane gets on the point when Kira dies, and but I mean, the Jaina is doing a lot of damage. They are able to turn off the turret. All items are used up. Can they hold it or take it back?
Oh, Trick tries to dive in to get the burst for the kill, but doesn't find it, ends up going down, staggers at their own death. ZaneHyde needs to get a little bit of healing, but it looks like they forced them away. They whittled them down to the point where they're not able to stand on the point. KidKerrigan was trying to make their way back into lane to make sure they're soaking up, but this is what I was talking about earlier. Grabbing that camp a little bit later meant that they either had to get off the point and clear this or eat the damage. They're going to eat that damage, but they still get a Triglop Protector. The other factor on top of this, there were 2 kills for the members of Easy Money, meaning that they're going to be just about a level lead over the opposing side, and that allows them to get closer to that 10. They can play even more aggressive in some of these upcoming fights. But right now, Triglop Protector rotating from mid to top. Typically, we see this due to the fact that you want to grab the well. Excuse me, you want to destroy the well in this top lane push so that you remove the lane sustain during control point B phase. That means that the next control point B, which will be in top, is going to be so much more difficult for the members of Easy Money to handle, because the fact that if they want to get a well, if they want to tap anything like that, they got to go back to a keep, or they have to go back all the way to mid lane. So it's just a little thing to be able to have that extra damage, or at least that extra sustain in your fight. But hold on, Kira's not going to... Okay, I thought Kira's going to get the revolving sweep, but I think they end up dropping down. And this should be just a disengage from both sides, just resetting and getting ready for 10s.
Okay, so that was a very interesting one. We do have, despite the fact that they did lose that first objective, they're actually up in experience because of those 2 kills that they got during the objective, and they didn't die, so they have level 10s. If they want to force a fight right here, this is the best time to do it. We have the Silence and the Nano Boost coming out, taking out that Uther, getting an extra kill. With that kill, they could go for a camp if they want to, and it looks like they do. They are going to be taking these heal cams. Honestly, let's see what they're thinking right now. Let's head over into Easy Money's comms really quick and see what they're thinking.
I'm on my way to siege camp.
What's time on turret?
Turret 32. I'm on siege. I solo it, no problem. I'm Merc Queen.
Next one. You don't need help up there?
They looked at that earlier, by the way. They might try to invade.
Yeah. I need one to camp it. I need one to camp this.
Cool.
They're mid, they're mid. There's 3 top. Defend top, defend top,
mid, 3 top. Yeah, I'm on my way.
Here's Zero's bot. He's
I gotta go a long way.
Uther's here, Uther's here.
Our turret is up. I think we cap siege.
Should I
They cap
go?
theirs.
Cap siege, cap siege.
Yeah, because I need to go hurry up and get started on our turret.
Condemning.
No wailing, no wailing.
Frisbee.
Uther's low. Uther's low.
Oh,
Ancestor
that's
healing up. Oh, fuck me.
I got fucked.
Come on, Vipey. No, I can't finish him. Is there a tool here? Yeah. I might get fucked. I'm gonna try and wailing to survive. Nah, I'm dead.
It's fine, we get all their else. We need to look for a fight after this. Just drop the nano on this.
Well, that was not something that they were expecting right there in that top lane. That
definitely
fight
was
went
not.
so sideways.
They had all the leads that they could have, and their comms got really quiet a bit. And then right as they got quiet, they got ambushed, they got dropped on, then they tried to overcommit to a fight. Amazing. Oof.
Can we got into those comms, and I just happened to look at what KidKerrigan took at level 10. And I was like, I had to mute myself because I was like, wait, we've really got Hinterland's Blast here.
Yeah, oh yeah. And that is... And we've got a full W build too. So it is, I mean, Hinterlands is interesting if you can lock people together. I mean, I've seen people do crazy stuff with sundering them all into a line and then Hinterlands, but we went Earthquake too. So it is going to be interesting to see. Maybe it was just another target to possibly nano boost in case the Sylvanas didn't work, but
True.
I mean, either way. But I mean, that was fascinating. That was really interesting to see how they changed their attitude very quickly. Ooh, look at that flank.
Blessed Shield came out, set that up. There's the Hinterland's Blast.
There's the
Divine
Hinterlands.
Storm comes out as well. Dr. Pickle's going to be in a bit of a rough spot, as that will be the Earthquake slowing them down. Not going to get that extra proc, but over on the top left of our screen, we currently have Vipey trying to make some sort of play happen here, and they're just like, well, maybe I'll take down... Wait, no, I can't take down KidKerrigan. So they're going to end up losing 3 members right there. That is exactly what the members of Easy Money needed after that loss in the top lane engagement, and now they can spread themselves across the map, pick up a little bit more experience. Also, Falstad needing to get a couple more stacks as well. Currently actually having 20% lightning rod bonus damage for anyone that's wondering. Also to note really quickly, Unfurling Shadows on Sylvanas at 87 stacks. Echo of the Elements was finished up by the Thrall. Jaina finished out her Fingers of Frost, as well as Uther finished out Silver Touch, and we have 6,925 out of the 15,000 for the Frostbite on the Jaina. Also, the last note, we have Subdue for the Joanna. That hasn't been finished out yet, but regardless of it being finished out, if you're hitting 2 heroes with that, you still get the 80% slow, which is huge to be able to get that slow onto anyone. But now, with the 90% in Rising, they're looking to try and turn this around. And Paradox, I think they might be able to take this, as there's a VP in the backline, Ancestor healing the next on the Casanova.
Ring!
Cross underneath them. That's going to be Kira diving in with the final strike, and they find the kill onto Ana and Sylvanas. Taraska's trying to make their way out of here as they get the root onto one. Trikslyr is just clearing out the way, but they also get a little damage onto ZaneHyde, who backs out. Trikslyr blinks forward, doesn't find the kill. Kira dives in, manages to grab it, and that's going to be 3 kills in favor for the members of Down to Dongle, turning around this control point B.
As silly as this is, I mean, guys, this is the celebrity class, right? But as crazy as it is, it's like some of this coordination that they're doing reminds me of some of the old coordination we saw from the better teams. I mean, that was a Hinterlands, though, that took out Uther. Was not expecting that. No, but what I'm talking about is, like, look at this flank that they did that set up the Easy Money. They completely did this flank that team wiped. They wiped better than Duke Cannon's soap is gonna wipe. And then right after that, down to I know that was bad.
That was good. You just caught me off guard with it.
do not give me any credit, or do not give me any praise for that. And then Down to Dongle turns around, and what do? Amazing VP into amazing ring into Vipey just jumping on them so much. And it was brutal. And it's like the coordination these teams have for only getting to actually play together for maybe 10 to 12 games. I mean, under a dozen for either of these teams is phenomenal. It's crazy how much, and a little dance from the robot right there. But yeah, it's honestly, it's so cool to watch. It really, really is.
No, there's a lot of good communication coming out from these teams, and speaking of communication, while they're in this Trickle Protector, it might be a good time to now jump into Down to Dongle and see how they're going to play this second half of the Trickle Protector phase.
It is.
Sitting down?
Yeah, we can 5-man it. We can 5-man it.
Okay, that's his D.
False at stop as well.
Yeah.
I might just start hitting the well as soon as I can. Just focus the well. Perfect.
I have ring.
Oh, no, I'm dead.
Ooh, oh, that was nice.
Silence.
I got the turret down. That's
Oh,
all I could do.
leaving. Nice, VP.
Let's get out of here. My bad. I got silenced. Roll to hit the VP.
That's alright. That's alright.
They do the exact same combo each time though, so we can predict it.
Yeah, we should have talked about it a little bit more beforehand what we wanted to do, because it would work as a good bait to have it break there if Trick was like
Yeah, that's my fault.
in
100%.
position and ready for it, but they got the silence on you, so it's just a good play on this Sylph.
And I mean, the crazy part about this, they come back in here, and out of those comms, they're so calm about it too. Like they had a plan, it didn't quite work. They got flanked they weren't expecting, and they're just like, you know, no worries. We just need to make sure next time Trick's ready. And they play this out so well. I really like hearing their comms. I mean, both teams, their comms have been very, very collected. So that's awesome. What I was saying before we moved into comms was pretty much just that for the second objective, you just want to make sure that you get that well in the bot lane and then get as much value as you possibly can.
Trying to dive onto Trick right there. They're going to get a root onto a couple members, but that was the Blessed Shield being ripped onto a couple. Oh, that was a good setup. Unfortunately, they just weren't able to capitalize on the kill just yet. There was no Ancestor, and I think they knew that. It is quite a long cooldown for Ancestor healing. It's 100 seconds. So re-engaging after they saw that happen during, well, the last little fight they had, that's actually going to be everyone trying to dive onto Zane in bottom lane, but they pop Iron Skin. They're going to be absolutely fine as it's 18 up on both sides. Control point C isn't too far off, but they're actually going to continue to push into bottom lane. Vipey very far from the friendly team. This might have been too far of a step. They're going to play in the fog of war a little bit right there just to try and block any sort of incoming autos or maybe even dodge a skill shot. But now Joanna steps forward. That's going to be a lot of members very low. They actually get the ring underneath. There was a VP from Trikslyr. The Hinterland's Blast is just in the
Just
stasis
waiting.
form. Dr. Pickle almost goes down from that one. There's a huge wailing arrow out from Sylvanas as the Uther clone, or excuse me, the Uther Ghost is going to go down. Charaska's looking for the autos to get the kill onto Kira. The Ancestor healing is going to be on a 10-second cooldown because it just narrowly missed them as Selenityy is trying to make their way out as their shield glare over the wall. Not going to be happening, but look at these. Triksler's able to get away and just Hearth over on the left-hand side, but the rest of the team is going to actually hard push this bottom lane and get so much value before control point C. This is a huge win for the members of Easy Money.
I'm starting up an exit.
It really is. And from this point on, it's going to be very difficult. We're going to have level before down to Dongle. It's going to be the objective phase that could end this, and they opened up the bottom keep to where it's available to take when they get this next objective. So they will have level 20s, they will have major advantages, and with these advantages, they have a huge possible chance to just end out this game. However, the way that Down to Dongle needs to approach this next fight is they need to hit the opposite lane. They need to see if they can't finish off KidKerrigan while she's alone, possibly get some damage off on this keep, spread the enemy team, and try to force the level 20s, or at least get to level 20s before they have to force a fight. Looks like neither team's doing anything too crazy here. Playing safe.
KidKerrigan went into Call of the Wild Hammer for level 20, which is basically it's the double the range and 25% more damage. For anyone that's wondering on questing talents or anything like that, Wingman is currently sitting at 35% bonus lightning rod damage. They also have one stack, actually almost 2 stacks up and available. Joanna has not finished out Subdue, but as we noted earlier, as long as you're hitting 2 heroes with it, you get that 80% slow. And on the note of Mochrie, we have 135 stacks on Unfurling Shadows as another fight seems to be breaking out. VP onto a couple, Ancestor Healing connects early. That's going to be a Ring of Frost going out. I don't know if it connected onto anyone. There's a huge Hinterland's Blast coming through. That's almost full cooldown. As I know it actually missed quite a few players, as that's Vipey breaking off to the left-hand side. Casanova and friends going to go to the right, and I think Vipey just took, is just like, you know what, Mr. President, get out of here. Nope, Mochrie has the Haunting Wave.
Oh! Still, this is a surprising amount of damage coming out.
Oh yeah, it is.
That is crazy. So the interesting thing about these cleanses, Ana did not do a cleanse there. That was purely there were 3 people who were going to get hit by that ring. Falstad dashed. Then we had Mochrie on Sylvanas, who did on Self-Unstoppable from the level 16 talent, and we had Self-Unstoppable from the Joanna all at once. So while that ring looked amazing, They just have so much unstoppable on their team. Not to mention, I mean, we do have the possibility of the level 13 talent that's going to be removing stuns, not roots. So if they do get hit by Ring, they are stuck in Ring. However, if they get stunned by Uther, that could be bad for them. That could be bad for Uther only because that could be an extra 50 armor to whoever he stuns.
Blessed Shield to set this up. They're stepping further forward. I thought they were going to be looking for a Hinterland's Blast right there, as a lot of members were kind of lining up through that gate, but ends up having a Blink Forward from Trikslyr. Gonna be chasing ZaneHyde. Pops the Iron Skin. And it seems like they're gonna be able to disengage just fine. Currently have the Thrall sitting on the point. Top lane is stacking up a bit, but right now I don't think that's their concern. All they care about is getting this control point C Trikslyr Protector and trying to walk this in through bottom lane. Maybe even take a keep, maybe even take the core. We'll have to see what happens here, as this is going to be overtime. Earthquake coming out from the Thrall. That's going to be just so much initial damage coming out. They sidestepped the majority of the Hinterland's Blast. Ring of Frost coming out as well. Vipey going to be going down right there. We currently have the Uther getting picked off as well. They did go into Redemption at level 20, so they can revive. That's why you're seeing them actually come back up right there. The Trikslyr Protector ended up going over to the members of Easy Money as Trikslyr gets the Ancestor Healing just in time. They end up all running towards top lane, but here's the question. Are they going to try and push in through top against the Trikslyr Protector? They're going for the defense. Okay. I've seen teams where they're just like, we got a good wave in top. Let's just race this. And
if they had their race, I think they could do it. I think Jaina's their only siege, so I think right now they just need to play the defense.
That's fair.
But this could be game. If they stagger even one, possibly two. If they stagger two, it's over. But possibly one, it can still be over. Right here, there's a root, cleansed, out. Heal camp was dropped, but this could be game. This is a healthy protector heading straight for core with KidKerrigan's taking a lot of damage though. But Casanova's really taking a lot. No redemption this time, and that could be game. One staggered death's all it takes here, and that looks like it's going to be GG. And that is Easy Money taking game number one. Both teams played so well, but when it got down to those level 20s, and can I talk about KyleFergusson during that last fight? He was on Thrall. That objective was coming down. He went right into their backline, popped an Earthquake. People weren't so used to dealing with those conveyor belts while Earthquake was going. So all of a sudden, everyone thought that they had enough time to get around the conveyor belt, and they didn't. They were all slowed. So they tried to turn and fight. Well, everyone had shields because of Earthquake. So now you're trying to fight someone who has all these big shields stopping them from doing damage. You can't run. You can't fight. There's nothing you can do. And then he dropped one person. He dropped the Uther, and then he chased the Uther ghost until the Uther came back up, and he killed Uther again. And he's like, nope, you're not getting anything. And so KyleFergusson played that last fight so well. I mean, their whole team did, but I just was watching him just snake his way through their team, pop that Earthquake, drop Uther, and then turn around and drop Uther again. And I was like, this guy right here. But overall, that game was intense. There was a lot going on. I think overall, my only thing that I would say as far as the Trikslyr's team with their combo, and I say Trikslyr because he was on the Zeratul. Trikslyr's Void Prison and Jaina is that I think they relied a little too much on that combo to where they almost didn't know what to do if they weren't the ones engaging. They should have had a backup plan to disengage so that they could re-engage on their own terms. And I think that's what they need to look for this next game.
Kyle was doing a great job of just constantly being where they didn't want him, in a sense, if that makes any a sense. But basically, anytime there was a team fight breaking out, they were always splitting the team. Kira was trying to get in there and try and split them themselves, but it ended up just being all right, we'll just turn on Kira and then just chase after the team. A good example of that was when they actually ended up splitting to say all right, we'll save these players, and then Vipey just kind of sacrifices. And I think Vipey was thinking they might be able to have some mobility and some control to be able to get out of there. And it was one of those situations where they were able to end up splitting one of the members away and finding a kill onto them. Throughout that entire game, there was just so many moments like that. And I think you're right as well. A great defining moment, and I think even Twitch chat was catching this, because I was so surprised that the Ring of Frost didn't get the value that I expected. I think the ring was actually a frame or two early before the VP ended.
It was.
Because I was like, there should be so much, people should be falling here, but it was just minuscule. Yeah, it was.
So Ring actually got thrown. You're talking about the last fight on the objective post 20. So Ring started, then VP hit, and then Ring ended and then VP ended, and that was it. And it was just slightly off. But yeah, it's pretty rough, and it's challenging because you need to make sure you're hitting the right ones as well. But before we get into this next game, I just want to mention our sponsor really quick one more time. Guys, if you haven't, have you guys not heard of this? Have I mentioned Duke Cannon yet? Baha, have I mentioned they have this thing? It's like this big. It's a big ass bar of soap, guys. I've mentioned a few times. You hear it again. You're gonna keep hearing it. Check them out. Check out the sponsor, guys. They are making sure that we are squeaky clean here. You have not heard a swear word on this stream yet, and you will not hear a swear word on this stream because of this squeaky clean soap. Am I right, Baha?
Absolutely. And on also a note of our sponsors, we cannot forget the people that are also supporting the community themselves. Thank you so much to Corny for the 400 bits. I'm just scrolling up really quickly in chat because I have seen that there are quite a few bits that have come through, and so Phoenix, thank you for the 100 bits as well. There's anyone who's donating bits, donating money, subs, any of that is going back into the prize pool for these players to win. The only person that walks out of here with money is going to be Bandit, but that's because he has a contract with Heroes Hearth. It's this whole big thing, and he's mascot anyways. But we as casters, it's not like we're just taking all this money and walking out of here. This, you can actually see the breakdown of, it's $500 plus 35% of the community prize pool. So the money that you're donating towards this is going to go into that prize pool. And if I'm on one of these teams and I'm, there's $500 on the line for first place, but then let's say it's $1,000 from the community pool, that 30%, 35% comes out to that. That's a massive moment to be able to pull in a whole lot of money for your team, and also makes these teams play a little bit more aggressive into each other. So thank you for supporting. Thank you for being here. And we got many, many more weeks of all this fun action. But I think all of our rambling aside, Paradox, I think these teams are ready to brawl out once again.
I think so.
I'm super pumped about our next map.
Oh man, our next map is one of the favorites in the competitive scene for many reasons, but for the most part is because it's very strategic in that you can give up objectives and not lose anything, and that is Towers of Doom. Towers of Doom is a great map, and let's get right into the draft. I'm expecting the common bans, of course. We're not going to see an Ariel. We're not going to see a Deathwing. However, remember who we still have available. We still have the Tracer available. We still have TAS, which needs to be banned because Mochrie's either going to play Tracer or someone enabled by Tassadar. But look at how much value Sylvanas got last time. Uther ban, which was scary, let's be honest. What else? Ooh, Deathwing's going to be available if they want to take it. It is a pretty good map for Deathwing. It's a large map. You can stall the objective for a long time with those meteors from the level 7 talent. I believe it's called Skyfall is the talent, but you fire these little fireballs. So Deathwing will be an amazing pick here.
That actually changes today too. I believe the cooldown reduction was changed from 1.5 to 1. So
yeah. So I mean, the talent
still, yeah.
Damage is still there. The cooldown's still there. It's the cooldown reduction before drop. Ana's first pick though.
I'm not surprised by this.
Okay.
Looking at the last game, the Ana heals were really, really good. So I think we just stick with the thing that's...
don't get me wrong, but I was more concerned with the idea of that I don't believe she's that contested to need to be picked this early. While there's other really good... Sylvanas is still up. Deathwing's still up. Junkrat on this map is still up. Garrosh, Li Ming, one stall, one setup. I mean... But I'm actually really surprised that Deathwing's getting this far. I mean, maybe it's just me that maybe they just don't have enough experience on him yet. But the longer Deathwing gets, the less opportunities you get to counter Deathwing too.
That's exactly, yeah.
That's the tricky part is, I mean, but he could always be banned in third round in case they don't want to deal with him. But currently, neither team really has an answer to Deathwing. Who knows?
It's a lot of poke value.
There it is.
There it is. Yeah.
There it is.
I would expect. God, I think the biggest threat that I've seen in a lot of Deathwing games throughout casting and stuff since its release, Tychus is always something, Malthael is always something, New York's always something. I think it's actually Greymane with Curse.
I was gonna say, I think Greymane is he's the one that you don't need to shift up your draft that much either. It's just one bullet, you're done. That's it. One bullet. I mean, Leoric's okay. His damage isn't high enough. Malthael and Leoric's damage isn't high enough. Tychus is fast, but his range is so low. While Greymane, he just walks up one button, walks away, half Deathwing's health is gone. So it's It's definitely
and
I'm
Maltheo. Okay.
it's the Maltheo that they don't want to deal with.
I won't deny this though. I've seen so many on a Pale Horse Maltheo games where what you end up doing is you on a Pale Horse Maltheo top to mid rotations, which isn't pretty standard. You actually usually have solo and top, and then you end up having your core 4 rotate between mid and bottom, and so that way you can just have the entire 4 stack just pushing bottom lane while you have your solo laner between top and mid. Sorry, I might have jumped all around there because I was watching the picks come through. I love this Leoric, I'm not gonna lie. That
is a good
1v1. Oh,
Whoa!
that's it. That's all we needed. That's all I wanted this evening. And we talked about this earlier. Easy Money has Big Scoop, and for anyone that doesn't know, that's Tim from Heroes of Fitness. And if anyone doesn't know who that is, they play a lot of Cho'Gall. So I'm happy about this. That's it. That's my draft analysis is done.
All they do, they already have a perfect Cho'Gall comp. I didn't even think about it. They've got the nano boost. They've got Deathwing to cover the macro and a global. Jaina can cover the wave clear and cam clear if they don't need that. This is actually fascinating. Leoric is, I mean, they've got good percent health, but they don't have great percent health. Mephisto and Li Ming aren't going to have enough damage to finish off Cho'Gall and Deathwing. So it's really going to come down to, I would imagine, an auto attack Leoric, because you're going to have that consistent percent health damage. You could go the ghost package, but I don't think they're going to have enough damage to kill them if they go ghost package. I mean, I will say that the Entomb will hurt everyone, but I don't even know if they can go Entomb here.
Holy crap, Ed, with the 1,000 bits. And also, for anyone that doesn't know, that also started a hype train. So donating bits, we'll continue that going. Donating subs, or even resubbing, or subbing yourself, we'll continue that going. You can earn unique rewards. So if you wanted to support the league, and you also wanted to get something free back from Twitch, because I believe you get emotes unlocked as you do finish those hype train levels, hey, you can get yourself some cool emotes through Twitch, but you can also support this league. And I can already see Widegate with the 100 bits. So thank you so much. Thank you for supporting everyone. But we are already here in game number 2, and NotParadox, we got Easy Money on the left-hand side.
Easy Money is on the left side as blue team. We have Big Scoop playing the Ana. That is Tim from Hero Fitness. We've got ZaneHyde playing Cho. We've got Torosk, who is KyleFergusson, playing Deathwing. We've got Mochrie on Jaina, and we have KidKerrigan playing the Gall.
On the right-hand side, we got the members of Down to Dongle. We've got Vipey on the Mephisto, Selenityy on the Li Ming. That's actually really, really strong right there. Casanova on the Garrosh, Trikslyr on the Leoric, and Dr. Pickle on the Anduin. Also, we're going to try and burn through this. Kara, Blonde Duchess, thank you for the 100 bits each. Thank you, Fume, for the 300 bits. Thank you, Juggernaut, for the 1,500 bits. Ninja for the 100 bits. Big Scary Doug with the 500, and Thunderous T with the 200. Thank you all so much for supporting. We might miss a couple of them as the game progresses, but either way, we all love you. Thank you for supporting this entire league and making everything more possible. And that is going to be a pause so we can read more donations from Malibu with 100 and Celestia with the Twitch Prime subscription. Looks like we have some issues with Discord, but we're gonna get that all managed in a second. Let's actually talk about let's talk about the lane matchups right now, because we haven't talked about the map mechanics here on
Can I talk about something first?
Oh, sure,
really quick.
Please go by.
Easy Money. Can you see what Cho'Gall is currently mounted on right now? Can you see that? Well, when we get that, I want everyone. Don't say it yet. Don't say it. Don't say what it is, but I want everyone in chat to tell me what everyone on Easy Money is mounted on when we get back from that. Now we can talk about the lane setup. We have Cho'Gall, who's probably going to be staying bot lane the entire time, keeping the pressure up the entire time. Then I would imagine that Jaina is going to be covering mid lane whenever Deathwing can't. Deathwing is going to be top lane, and then we're going to have wait, is it on? I'm confused. Is it on the Australian? Oh, okay, it's on the Discord server. Sure. Sounds good. Well, it looks like we should be starting back up. So quick, guys, what mounts? Say it in chat, guys. What mounts do we have? West Team Easy Money. What are they riding at the moment? It is
a big ass bar of soap.
It looks like a big ass bar of soap, guys. So that is it. They are riding Duke Cannon's big ass bar of soap. Speaking of which, you guys haven't checked out the sponsor, check out Duke Cannon. He is the sophisticated male hygiene It is awesome. So check it out. So as far as that, go.
No, I just wanted to say we got body check Garrosh.
Oh boy.
Yeah. That's not something I see too often right there, but I love it. I absolutely love it.
I mean, when you've got to take out a Cho'Gall, you need all the tools you can get. You know, you got to lower his healing, you got to lower his self healing, you got to lower everything. Ooh, we've got Greffer, who threw in 1,000 bits. We've got Abishur, who threw in 1,000 bits. Thank you guys, and we've got that 1 bit coming out from Reckless Ron. I mean, can't forget that little one.
Oh, dear Lord! Sorry, production was telling us that we reached our goal this evening.
That is awesome. Seriously, guys, thank you. Don't let that stop you, though. I mean, just saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we're going to not give these players whatever's donated. So if you want to continue to support, thank you seriously so much. Serenity Knight with the 100 bits. But we can actually get into the game right now because there's a whole lot happening. We have our rotations breaking out. We've got our first objective phase going to be popping up at the 3-minute mark in the game. You can actually already see that it's going to be the top left, top right, which is standard. The only thing that randomizes is this bottom one. It can either be in the lower half of the map or above the bottom lane. So there's the 2 locations that it does randomize onto. As this oh my god, Mochrie got thrown so very far, and they were able to capitalize. And that's first blood going over to the members of Down to Dongle, trying to find their way into this series here and take us to a game number 3 on Towers of Doom. But Paradox, we've got ourselves our first altar phase popping up in the next 26 seconds. We'll see how these teams play
first altar plays and more than half a level lead from Down Dongle already. And it's a very difficult one to come back from because Cho'Gall tends to struggle if he gets behind. If he gets behind, he's just like essentially a 4v5 every team fight. So he tends to need to always be ahead. In this case, this is looking a little sketchy right now with that half a level lead. So as his first objective approaches, normally what most teams will do is throw their solos to grab the top safe ones, and they will fight and interrupt as much as possible on the bottom one until they possibly can grab that from the other team. It's very rare that you'll see teams do a strategy other than this, other than maybe if one team has a global and the other one doesn't, then they'll sometimes just send all 5 up to the top. But in this case, it looks like we've got both teams with capabilities to stall for a while. We do have Deathwing charging right into the back line, immediately charging onto Kiyeberries and doing a lot of damage onto Casanova as well. That might give enough time for Tim to be able to hold the point. A little bit of zoning fire going out as well, and that is Tim picking up that first point on Ana. That means that we will have an advantage coming from easy money at the start of this game. Cho'Gall immediately heading to top lane, and it looks like they're going to shift up their lanes a little bit.
Real quick, Thunder's T, thank you for the 5 gifted subs, and we are seeing all of you in chat with all the bits. We really appreciate it. I have noticed that people were asking about the banners. Unfortunately, due to just the observer overlays and some changes that we had to make last minute, we cannot move those down. We apologize. Any sort of questing talents, we'll try and keep you up to date on those, and we'll probably show you all the stats and talents at the end of the game. But right now, that's just the current situation. We'll get it fixed up for next week. But either way, this is going to be Tarask in a bit of a rough spot. But here's the thing. They're going to use the Cataclysm to get out of there with some very low health. I also want to note, too, they went into Dragon's Ire at level 4, where if they have 3 or fewer armor plates, they deal 25% increased damage. So playing around that lower armor plating is a technique for some of these Deathwings, especially with that. But also, we did have that change from 30% today in the patch to the 25%. So that is going to be one thing. Also, they went to that Skyfall's Paradox.
He actually went all 3 of the nerf talents.
Yeah. Draconic Might was actually nerfed too. You're right. It was.
Yes, all 3 of the nerf talents. However, Cho'Gall is going some of the buff talents, so I will mention that as well. So that is interesting. So it is going to be kind of interesting. They're taking it a little bit. We may need a pause.
Oh. We're currently fixing. Oh.
A little bit of a DC there, but no worries. Since we are in this DC and we still hopefully can hear the casters, if that's the case, I would like to mention we are doing a giveaway later today. Make sure to type in Dude Soap, no spaces, and the caps are up to you. You will be able to enter the giveaway for some awesome Duke Cannon gear, including a tactical scrubber, which is the size of a big-ass bar of soap, and, of course, big-ass bar of soap. With that being said, check out the soap. And if you don't win, or if you do win and you just want extra flavors, then head over to Duke Cannon and you can save 15% if you use the code HHE15. HHE15. That is 15% off. And we are back in this game after that. It looks like everything is going pretty well. We've got the next altar spawning. Level 10s are a little far off. However, even with that first objective advantage, we do have an experienced lead still coming out from Down to Dongle.
And we're going to be having this Molten Flame from the Deathwing. This thing clears so very quickly. Sarah Onion with the 5 gifted subs as well. And that pushes us to finish out whatever hype train level we currently were at, because I was not looking. I just saw the subs come through as Jaina ends up going down. Skyfall to poke out at a couple of these players as that's a nice Skyfall to interrupt this. I actually love Skyfall on a map like this to have those 3 interruptions, as Casanova, I think, should be able to get that channel. Deathwing lands and is going to interrupt all of this, and this is a bit of a risky play, as currently Selenityy is isolated. Big scoop on the left-hand side of our screen. Doesn't find the combo for the kill, but now has to come back over here. They were a little bit split, and that's a large portion of their damage, as this is a Cho'Gall trying to make their way back towards the front gate. Going to be able to do so, but I think down to Don, and they're going to even up the health 32 to 32 as we into the
Oof, a little bit of robot there. Hopefully I'm all right over here. We did just trigger another hype train. That was Rackham 1500 bits. And then we also have 2 different sets of gifted subs. Imran, as well as, Stanikis did a quick sub as well and mentioned easy money. And we had Sarah Orion with the gifted subs as well, just trying to catch up a little bit. Overall, that was awesome. Thank you guys. Keep up all of these hype trains. We do have that objective, which ended up evening out the scores this time. But remember that Cho'Gall is known for the scaling that Cho'Gall has. So Cho'Gall is going to be scaling really well into the late game. However, on the other side, we do have that Entomb. We've got taunts. Those also scale really well into the late game. Mephisto's great at 16. So this game could be anyone's even still. And I am excited to see, hopefully, where it goes.
Yeah, actually, full nerf. Am I leveled out now? We good? I'm not all.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Cool.
I'm not robot.
I just wanted to let. He also went Burn Beneath My Shadow. This Deathwing, and that was another nerf talent. It went from 100% increased damage to 80% today. So it's just Kyle's just like, you know what? It doesn't matter if you nerf him. We're still gonna play him. We're still gonna body on him. But let's see what happens over this next altar phase that's gonna be popping up. Also, Desert Jester and ZaneHyde, I think they donated 1,000 and 15,000 or 1,500, and then we have 500 bits from Ad again. Just everyone in here donating and keeping all this going. We really appreciate it. Seriously, you are all amazing.
Yeah,
we get into an altar phase, as this is going to be a bit of a back and forth. That's going to be the Twilight Hammer from Cho'Gall to force back a couple members. Dr. Pickle is isolated from the friendly team, but that's going to light bomb onto them. There's going to be the Twisting Nether. Doesn't actually get the value because the light bomb slowing them down. Vipey trying to find some way into this fight and just try and find some damage. Unfortunately, they're going to be able to get the Garrosh for the Ana. Vipey goes down right there to the Deathwing. They end up getting the Jaina kill. That's a reset for Selenityy, but now Cho'Gall chases after Anduin and finds a kill right there. That's going to be a 2 for 3. Trikslyr is going to be able to respawn on the map right there. I actually don't even know where they came from. I was just like, they weren't dead, were they? He just popped out of nowhere for me.
I don't even remember.
I missed it too. Yeah, I was just like,
I was watching Kiyeberries like in the enemy team as Anduin that whole time, going, "What are you doing over there?"
Is Kyle going to be able to get this? That's the consume soul used by the Mephisto from the core to just interrupt the altar channel right there. As Trikslyr's going to get. Oh, that's a wonderful Entomb. Unfortunately, that's just going to zone away the Ana in a sense. This is a wonderful Warlord's challenge as Cho and Gall get picked off right there. Deathwing going to use the Cataclysm, but unfortunately they get picked off. That is going to be, I believe, on just the 10-second cooldown. We'll have to double check when they respawn. But either way, Altar Phase going to go over to down to Dongle, and they're going to deal in significant damage right there. 28 to 32 in core health, as they also have their 13 talents here.
Look at this bottom structure being taken out. And if you guys know anything about this map, one of the major strategies, in fact, it's considered by the competitive players as the main primary strategy, and the real objective of this game is to hold bottom lane. If you can control the opponent's bottom lane, you've pretty much dominated this game, because it not only controls both of the camps, which is a potential of 6 damage every 3 minutes, however, or on top of that, it also gives you a huge amount of control over the bottom 2 objectives, which are considered the neutral objectives and the ones that you normally have to fight over. So you'll have control over your save objective, both of the neutral objectives, and both of the camps with a potential of an extra 6 damage per second, which is why a lot of the competitive players consider this the true objective of this map, is holding that bottom lane. So we probably won't see too much of a commitment on it, because the Cho'Gall can easily pick away at it. However, it is something that we will just need to keep an eye on throughout this game.
Silver Pistols with the 5 gifted subs that actually pushed us into level 5 hype train. So thank you everyone who helped us complete that. We finished up the hype train. You are all amazing, but thank you, Silver Pistol, for the 5 gifted subs as we get into this bottom lane. I think you covered that perfectly, because I always cover that in my games as well. As the bottom lane is such an insanely important thing to hold over, because of, one, the sappers that you can feed through and get extra damage, the extra shot, but also being able to control these this double altar phase coming up here.
Nano boosted Cho'Gall.
Yep, that's the Twisting Nether with a Cho'Gall trying to find their way into Dr. Pickle. They do have a lot of damage, but they're Surging Fist too many times. They actually keep repositioning too far away, and that is Garrosh going down to the damage over time on the ground, but also Jaina finding a bit of damage. Trikslyr is going to be able to Wraith Walk away as Selenityy is currently chasing the Cho'Gall, and they're throwing out abilities. That's a teleport. That's Cho'Gall trying to just get the Surging Fist into them, maybe try and steal a little bit of health, but Vipey should be getting picked off right there. Selenityy is not interrupted. Deathwing, I think, will be poked at, but that's going to be 5 shots raining into the core of Easy Money. They're down to 20 health.
And that is it's hilarious, because it's like Nano boosted Cho'Gall is so strong, but this build is so odd that half the time they're just running back and forth. Ooh, that's a good reset from Selenityy. They're ready to throw a little bit, but it's so hard to kill this Deathwing. It's like they just don't really have the damage to kill Deathwing. They're just killing everyone but Deathwing.
Not between these two, but Mochree's getting very low here. That's a Disintegrate to get a reset. Selenity's able to get away, and Kyle's doing their best to just poke at this. Leorc is cheating death off of them. The big thing to also note too is the bottom fort did down, so it's only going to be 4 shining out on the right-hand side.
Ooh, little robot there. But yeah, it is very true. The bottom fort is back in control of Easy Money, so it will only be 4 damage that they'll take here. And we do have those 16s finally picked up. It looks like Runic Feedback was picked up. That reduces the cooldown per hit. Cooldown by 1 second for each enemy hit. 2 seconds for each enemy hero hit. So we're going to be seeing a lot of bombs being flying out, especially with that low cooldown with Nano Boost. Should be pretty scary. But overall, we'll see how this plays out. Again, another Nano Boosted Cho'Gall. That they are
go down. That's going to be Trikslyr. Gonna get picked off. No, Consume Soul finds Mochrie, but they kill the Jaina. Are we leveled? Are we leveled? We did it! We did it! We did it, Discord. Currently, Dr. Pickle is going to be able to get the channel on this one, and that's going to be shots raining out. I can't, that was actually quite a long delayed out altar phase right there, because it was actually 20 health to 32 for quite some time, and they actually held that back and forth for a bit as we were just resetting Discord really quickly. Hopefully that solved all the issues, but this is just going to be reset on the map, and team's going to go back into rotations, looking for, 20 talents here respectively, but also going to be looking for just some more of these kills. It's such a weird back and forth, because I think you were saying the same thing. It's almost like without a combo, they're kind of waiting for the combo every single time. So without any sort of nano boost, they're just like, well, we just wait.
Yeah, honestly, it is. It's going to be a really rough time. We do have those power spikes that both teams need, but is it too late? We've got that full level lead, 13 to 17, and they're down to the 16. So even though they are in a pretty good spot right now, where they can silence people and have super low cooldowns on their E, it's still going to be really, really rough. Because they're just already so low. However, we do have a lot going for them. Ooh, a great Entomb, and Deathwing's just going to ult out. I mean, it's a 50-second cooldown for a, 100-second cooldown, so, or 90 maybe? 90. 50 for a 90, so overall, pretty good trade, and Cho'Gall, ooh, Deathwing just took out that Garrosh.
Massive nano boost onto the Cho'Gall right there as they find 2 kills. This is going to be a triple altar phase coming up here. So if they get all 3 of these, that's 16 damage they're going to be laying into this. Nope, that's 12 damage. Caster math kicking in once again. Either way, this is just going to be triple altar phase. They're actually going to be going for the Sapper camp in bottom lane. And I think they're going to just trade out the right-hand side. But this is a bit, Big Scoop needs to make that rotation quickly just in case the enemy team tries to go for this. Consume Soul is up by Vipey. And I was just waiting. It's right there. Consume Soul's used. 120-second cooldown. But you are going to be able to delay this out further. Unfortunately, I don't think they got the interrupt onto Deathwing. And this is just going to stall out bottom lane a little bit. So that's a 2-minute cooldown traded for not much, realistically.
Yeah, especially if you start approaching level 20s and they decide to go that talent. Most people will go Mimic at level 20 because it's just really, really strong. However, that upgrade to it can be pretty sneaky. If you can finish off one person, then it leads to a lot of kills, and it adds a % health modifier to it, which is also very strong. Ooh, Nano Boost immediately 100 to 0 Vipey very quickly, and they're getting right in there with those extra silences. The big explosions are just immediately silencing and doing a ton of damage to the structures as well. Overall, it looks like Garrosh is going to be in a little bit of trouble. Ooh, great leap of faith. Makes that trouble a little bit lighter, and we do have an ult coming out from Deathwing. Should be reset. Ooh, Jaina gets taken out as well.
This Cho'Gall is dancing with death a little bit here as there's just damage coming in from Selenityy here and there. They will be able to get this fort, which will be the reset on to Deathwing's. Oh wait, hold on, that's a massive Twilight Hammer to force the Garrosh out of position. Selenityy thought about chasing, but they're going to go for the defense right now. They end up turning around once again. Selenityy, I think, is looking for Big Scoop, and they do have a little bit of time. Oh, Light Bomb to actually slow things down over there. Selenityy finding another combo, doesn't connect onto the Cho'Gall, and that is the reset onto Cataclysm, which will be used just to get further away from this enemy team as a double altar phase is coming up here. If they're able to get both of these, it's going to be 10 shots raining out in favor for the members of Easy Money. But down to Dongle, I'm not going to lie. This has been a great back and forth between both these teams. I'm not counting them out whatsoever. I think I definitely think we could be seeing a series on our hands here at Paradox.
Oh, definitely. And we do see, again, Consumed by Hatred, so they have that potential for % health damage if things start getting a little low. We also see Buried Alive, that big silence that we're expecting from Entomb. It should be rather big on almost anyone. I mean, you hit that Cho'Gall with that right as they get... channeling on both sides is going to make sure that doesn't interrupt too much. But yeah, Cho'Gall gets Nano Boost and you immediately silence them and then lock them in. That 2 different people are wasted right there. The Nano Boost and both of those individuals. So an ultimate and 2 people. So that's going to be their best bet for dealing with that, is silencing them right as they have that going in. But
I don't know if Leorc saw it, but Cho'Gall did get Nano Boosted. So that's going to be a 50-second cooldown that they don't have for what I would assume is going to be a team fight in this bottom lane that they definitely want to be able to use the Nano Boost and try and force this back. But right now they're doing a great job of mitigating the sappers coming out on the side of down to Dongle, but they've got more sappers to deal with. Deathwing is in top lane versus Leorc, so sometimes that does happen.
I would like to mention one thing that's a little interesting. We do see a full Q build out of the Li Ming, which is kind of interesting.
Hold on, I gotta cut you off. Casper with the 10,000 bits?
Oh.
Yeah, shout out to Casper in chat. Thank you so much for supporting this league, and wow, dear lord, as Mochrie is actually going to be dove on by Trikslyr, but they do have the Ice Block. There's the Consume Soul going to be used. That gets the kill into Jaina. Did they go into the upgrade at level 20? I actually don't know. Trikslyr might have gotten the kill before Consume Soul, so it didn't get the second block.
That is what happened. Yes, that is what happened. That is one of the big downsides about that ult, is you actually get punished for getting kills too early. We do have the Nano Boost hit in Cho'Gall, but what do we have to counter it, or do you even need to counter it? There wasn't anything really going on at that moment, but with Nano Boost down, they could essentially play a little bit more aggressive now if they want to.
Vipey stepping forward, eats a lot of damage from that Molten Flame from the Deathwing right there, as Casanova's looking someone to body block a little bit, or at least hit them with that level 1 ability. Silence goes out from the bomb. This is going to be Light Bomb onto Li Ming, but they realize they can't step into that there. Yeah, that was a little too risky, a little too aggressive. I think they were trying to benefit off the fact that Trikslyr was about to respawn, but it's a double altar phase. Vipey taking advantage of the fact that not even taking advantage of the fact they just want to get at least 3 shots in, because it's 9-19. So, you know, 3 shots is definitely better than none.
Yeah, oh yeah, 3 shots. When you've got this lead, 3 shots is 3 shots. So, at the bare minimum, I mean, Oh, but the Deathwing is interrupting. But even though the Deathwing's interrupting, the longer he stays up in the air, the less he can help his team, and that's Ana being taken out. Now Deathwing's gonna be dropping down, and the Mephisto, I mean, could just rejoin the team whenever he needs to. This is a lot of damage coming out. That's Garrosh being taken out. Trikslyr's also getting really low. Trikslyr's taken out as well. Vipey, ooh. I mean, this is already a 2 for none trade.
Woo! Oh my god, Casper with 5,000 bits as well. Dear Lord, thank you, Casper, with all of the donations, as well as to everyone in chat. Seriously, thank you for all the gifted subs, thank you for all the bits, but these massive bit donations are huge here. They're trying to get this interruption, and they managed to do so right now. That is going to be Jaina going down to the Li Ming. This Cho'Gall is doing their best just to casually 1v3 while Trikslyr's about to respawn. They do have Entomb up in the next 8 seconds. That's Light Bomb out from Anduin onto the Mephisto, not going to be able to find anything with that one. Selenityy backing off a little bit as they're getting a bit low. Ana is going to be back in a couple seconds here, but the Cho'Gall's realizing how low they're getting. They're going to be re-engaging into this. That's a real big risk, and they end up going down. They didn't go into the... I don't know the name of the town off the top of my head, but there's a 20 for Cho'Gall. One of them can take it where it's the cooldown reduction on their death timer. It's actually half, so they only... their death time would be like 30 seconds at this point. But this looks like the members of Down to Dongle could take us to a game 3 here with just this boss play, and I don't think anyone's going to be able to interrupt this in time.
I don't believe so. Honestly, I think this should be game right here. The only strange possibility is that a good Deathwing drop or something. But honestly, with Ana being taken out here, Deathwing alone is going to be 1v5. And I mean, he's not the Deathwing from World of Warcraft, so he's just not going to be able to do this. And that is GG. So, with that game in mind, I do just want to say I apologize for any Discord things here and there. Discord really needs to clean their servers. They honestly really need a big ass bar of soap. That
was good.
That one's better.
That was very.
That one's better. That one's better than the last one, so I'll take that. But let's talk about these stats really quick. You have Ana with 35,000 healing, and you have Anduin with 96,000 healing. That's kind of what happens when there's less targets to heal. You can't even heal Deathwing. And there's only one target with Cho'Gall to heal. Jaina doesn't really have enough to heal, so you're essentially only healing one person at a time. But that being said, look at 96,000 healing coming out from Kiyeberries in a fight where Cho'Gall was charging right at her every single fight. That was amazing. Only one death, despite both Deathwing and Cho'Gall always charging at her. I have to give a lot of credit to Kiyeberries that game. Tripled the healing of the enemy healer at the same time as dodging and weaving and keeping away from those two people that were both trying to charge and take her out. So overall, I mean, this was a really cool game to watch, and that does push us into game number 3. Are you excited, Baha?
I'm actually really pumped about this because we saw the members of oh my god, I'm blanking on the name all of a sudden. Easy Money. There we go. Easy Money was easily trying to make some cheeky plays happen here, but in a best of 3 series, who can blame them? I mean, you're up one game. Why not give the fans what they want? Why not give Twitch chat that Cho'Gall Deathwing combo that we've been itching for all night? So now that we've checked that box, now that we've scratched that itch, now that we've cleaned ourselves up with a big bar of soap, we can go ahead and get set up for game number 3 here. And I'm mostly excited to be finding out what we're going to get map-wise and how aggressive these players are going to be, as this is going to be the team that's undefeated. I mean, undefeated in a series, I guess we could say. And team that might be able to dethrone them on that factor. I'm super pumped about game number 3, Paradox.
Oh, I'm definitely pumped, but we're going to take a little bit of a break. But before we go, Casper, 5,000 bits for Easy Money. Did someone say Easy Money? Well, apparently 5,000 bits. Thank you so much. And yeah, we will be taking just a tiny bit of a break as we're getting all of the stuff structured for game number 3. So thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned. In just a couple minutes, we will be right back. Big ass bar of welcome back into the CCL. So we are on to game number 3. It is currently 1-1. The team that wins this game gets some bragging rights and will also move forward. I mean, both teams are moving forward. It's a round robin, so everyone gets to play against everyone anyways. But you know what I'm saying? We get a lot of bragging rights right now, and it does move up their scores, which will help them push further into the finals. And that being said, we are on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Bah, are you excited for Tomb of the Spider Queen?
It's going to be another rotation heavy based map. We're going to be seeing a lot of top to mid. And you're going to see that solo lane that's just going to be kind of hanging out, maybe getting a gank rotation from one of those members in the 4 core that's rotating between top and mid. The other big factor here is going to be push pressure. I feel like a lot of the Tomb of the Spider Queen games that I often do cast and or see, it ends up being either a super quick like 10 to 12 minute game or a very long like 20 to 27 minute game almost it feels.
It really does get that way.
But I think the main factor is because it's such a small map. It's actually one of the smallest maps in the game, even for having 3 lanes. It's when you end up, pushing things up. So web weavers, when they end up coming down the lanes, when they get to your keep front gate, it's not that hard to rotate over to there. And it's also really easy to defend those lanes because, as I said, the rotations aren't that far down the lane. So we often do see a lot of teams, go for web weaver plus boss turn in. That's usually the typically ender. But top lane will be a major priority. Bottom lane, you can win through and you'll have some siege giants down there. But we can get into more map mechanics as we get further into our actual game. We are currently in our ban phase here for game number 3 of our final best of 3 of the evening. And Tomb of Spider Queen, it works out overall. I think it's going to show good camp timings, good rotations, and overall, it's going to force a very strong draft that's focused on wave clear and also highly onto those rotations. I expect a Lucio to probably pop up from one of these teams as well.
I do like Lucio on this map. I think that Lucio is a fun one. As far as first pick here, I'd almost just take the Ana away. But they did play against it. They played against such a wild comp last time and they dealt with it. So they could really take whatever. Sylvanas is available. She's very good on this map. As far as tanks go, having a rotation heavy tank's good or high wave clear. Maiev is something that was snuck out a lot on this map in the competitive scene. Garrosh is the first pick that they decided to go to. However, to answer this, we might still see that first pick coming out from Ana. We might also see something more fun from it. What is available? Tracer's available, Malfurion's available, while Tassadar's not. They could still get away with it here. We still have Leoric available on Tomb of the Spider Queen. I've seen KyleFergusson throw a lot. Actually, both KyleFergusson and Tim from Heroes Fitness both like Arthas on this map, so that'll be interesting. We do see Uther and Sylvanas. Now that Uther is picked up by Tim, who has been playing the support the last 2 games. Is that an Uther healer? Or is that an Uther solo? Or is that an Uther tank? It looks to me like an Uther healer, but we'll see as more people lock in.
Do you know, just on a side note of KyleFergusson, I've listened to the Into the Nexus podcast for ages now, and him and Garrett talk a lot about Zagara, and in the past they used to talk a lot about Zagara as well. And with the small changes he had and the push pressure being so viable in our current meta, or I guess siege pressure is so viable, we might actually see a Zagara pop up here. The risky factor is just you're in game 3 in a best of 3 series. Like, do you want to take that risk? That's the only outlier. But Orphea will be grabbed here. She did have some changes come through in the patch today as well, so we'll be able to see how that affects her build as well as how it affects her playstyle overall. They do need a solo lane, so maybe banning out something they don't want to deal with instead solo lane is a good idea. So once again, we're going to see that Malthael be banned out. And yeah, exactly. It's Tomb of Spider Queen. On a pale horse is great for rotations, but they can even go into God, I'm blanking on the activatable one at level 1 where you can actually pass through enemy.
Fear the Reaper.
Thank you. Yeah, I thought of something. I was like, in my head, I was like, that's not right. And
that's the same. Wasn't. I do the same thing with that one all the time. Like, wait, is Fear the Reaper the 13 one that removes all the? Yeah, I do that.
Exactly.
But yeah.
It's he's a strong hero overall, but ban wise on the opposing side, I would look to say actually the Jaina ban's not bad. They're removing more wave clear from the side of easy money, but down to Dongle. They've got 2 picks left, but the opposing side has 3, and we'll see what they end up grabbing here. Is this that main tank Uther, off lane Uther, side support Uther?
One of the things that's going to be tricky about this is on this map is all about forcing fights. People can just walk away from objectives. So we do see it looks to be an Uther main tank so far. The other thing that we might still see is that Arthas, because Tyrande can give movement speed, Arthas can fly in. If they land even 1 stun, it's followed up with 3 or 4 different stuns. They have actually a full blow-up comp right now. All they need is a forced ranged engage. So anything that can force that range engage. As far as the other team goes, to counter that, Anduin counters blow-up comps very well. So they already have an answer to that. Now they just need something for the map to really dominate. Rag and Cassia, both interesting.
Blinds onto Tyrande means that she doesn't get cooldown reduction. Blinds onto Uther means he's not hitting people. Blinds onto Greymane means he's not hitting people. So, yeah, that's a pretty, and those are, I wouldn't say Tyrande has to step up, but Uther and Greymane will be stepping into your face for that one. They could play Greymane solo lane if they wanted to, but it looks like it's going to be Rexxar for that solo lane. I really like that.
That is a dodge.
No, I believe it's we just have to get some things figured out in the background as well.
The lobby changes. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, we had some lobby changes just to get things
That's
fixed
fair.
up.
Lobby lobby changes are initiated. That's interesting. So with that Rexxar last pick, it's kind of interesting because Kyle tends to learn a little bit from Garrett on that. I know what build Garrett's running, or at least I knew which one, but I have a slightly different build. So it's going to be interesting to see how they decide to use that Rexxar. Rexxar does have a lot of people undervalue Rexxar on maps like this because they're like, oh, what does he bring to team fights? But Boars is actually a great way to force a fight. You slow everyone, and then everyone's slowed as your Uther can walk right up, stun the first target, Tyrande follows up and stuns, and that's a kill. And so it's surprisingly strong post 10. I was expecting kind of something along the lines of a Leoric to entomb and set up a fight, but they don't need that. As far as the other side, to set up, to force those fights, Ragnaros can give that movement speed to Garrosh so that he can charge in and then flip. So both teams have their way to force fights, which was the one downside of Tomb of the Spider Queen, is that no one needs to sit on an objective, so you always need to force a fight. And both teams have that. So I'm excited to see how they utilize that to make it to where they can win these fights after they force them. So on the blue side, we have easy money. And with easy money, we have Mochrie playing Sylvanas. We've got ZaneHyde on Uther. We've got Tauros, which is KyleFergusson on Rexxar. We have KidKerrigan on Greymane, and we have Big Scoop, who is Tim from Heroes of Fitness. And that is easy money on blue.
On the right-hand side, we got the members of Down to Dongle. They're going to be trying to take this in a 2-1 fashion. We've got Dr. Pickle, or Kiyeberries, on the Anduin. Trikslyr on the Ragnaros, Casanova on Garrosh, Selenityy on the Cassia, and Vipey on their Orphea, which I actually know from BlizzCon, Vipey plays a ton of Orphea. Also, to note as well, because we can't let this just swing through here and not mention it. Real quickly, yay or not with the 1,500 bits for the Lava Wave. Casper going to be throwing in 2,222 for a Lava Wave. And then Casper going to throw in another casual 2,451. Gotta watch Alex. So either way, thank you so much for all the support this evening, everyone. We are here on Tomb of Spider Queen, game number 3 of our second best of 3 of the evening to determine if our undefeated champions of Down to Dongle will be able to keep that streak going, or will easy money make the upset happen this evening. We got Ragnaros versus Rexxar in bottom lane, and we continue to have rotations between top and mid, between the core 4 on the opposing sides. Is ZaneHyde going to get thrown out of position? Going to have a dive in from Cassie with the Fen. The Chomp from Orphea going to solidify a lot of damage, but they find the first kill onto Uther on the side of Down to Dongle.
And definitely, one of the biggest challenges about playing against a Garrosh is that if you don't have an answer to that throw as a tank, that means that you can't walk in front of your team and eat the throws for your team. One of the most common counters to this is Joanna. He throws, you unstoppable before the stun comes off, and then you just walk away. Another common one is Muradin. You eat the throw for your team, and then you hop away while gaining that extra armor. So there's a lot of answers in tanks. Uther does not have that answer. So one of the big challenges here is that an Uther tank is going to be repeatedly thrown and killed over and over and over if they lose that level lead, because they're going to have just those, the enemy teams just going to be doing more damage, 4% on average. So it is going to be a very, very tricky game for them to play into. That being said, this is Tomb of the Spider Queen. On Tomb of the Spider Queen, the objective is a group of 3 Spider Queens that will come out, and they will push and summon minions, and they all get that by collecting 50 gems, which are given by these minions in the minion wave, specifically 3 gems per wave, and they are usually collected by the tanks and then turned in. 50 of them summons a set of these Spider Queens, and outside of that, it does increase in difficulty to get those turn-ins. There's again another throw on to Uther, and then boom, another kill up in top lane. So we're gonna be seeing a lot of that until they learn an adjusted way to answer that. Which the adjusted way to answer that in team fights is to have Misha eat the throw for them, which means that you'll want to have a build that takes no Misha talents whatsoever. So level 7, when he has a really good Misha talent, it's gonna be tricky to take that talent. And that is so Tomb of Spider Queen also is a map that has a boss up at the top, and like was said earlier by Baha, that boss is often picked up to counter a turn-in, or it's picked up in combination with a turn-in.
Casanova being dove on right there, not going to get picked off. Chastise comes out. ZaneHyde going to get thrown once again. Once they get Divine Storm, this might be a different target they need to throw, but for now, they're going to find a third kill, and that will be pushing them up in almost a level lead. We're looking 3/4 of a level, maybe, as Big Scoop is going to need to get out of top lane. Vipey chasing into them a little bit, trying to get a combo out right there. Just skimming through some of the talents. Really quickly, just to update anyone that's wondering, 17 stacks on the Unfurling Shadows for the Sylvanas, 51 out of the 80 for the Silver Touch on the Uther, 0 on the Lunar Blaze thus far. On the Tyrande, 22 out of the 25 for the Hunter-Gatherer on the Rexar. On the opposing side, Ragnaros got the Shifting Meteor at 39 out of the 75. And lastly, Warbreaker for the Garrosh at 2 out of the 15. As this is going to be potential turn-in from either side, that's why you're seeing the glowing, the bottom right is glowing for both sides. That means they have enough to turn in. I was actually talking about this on stream a couple days ago, Paradox. Do you remember the days when you had to sit there and do the mental math to figure out how many gems you had? And if you had enough to turn in, because it never, it didn't glow like this always.
One,
like,
it didn't glow. 2, it actually didn't show the numbers there.
True,
you had to actually do that.
Yes.
Yeah, you had to do your own. You had to open up your tab, and there was even a point where it didn't even show it in the tab. You had to look at each individual person. So they've made 3. They probably made so many other changes that I'm not mentioning. But yeah, it used to be pretty ugly. A couple things about Orphea. If you're gonna say something,
it was a real quick thing. I like this actual flare being picked up at level 1 because we were talking about ganks into the bottom lane during the draft. That will provide great vision because it's, I think, 20 seconds of just reveal. So that just means that if you are a Rexar playing up in the lane and you're afraid of getting ganked, well, you got that flare on the ground so you can see anyone rotating in. So it's just a little thing that I noticed, and it was an adaptation from Kyle that I personally think is really, really strong for them.
Oh, definitely. But we do still see some Misha talents being taken. And again, that's their only answer to Garrosh later on. So just keep that in mind. It's going to be a little tricky. There were some Orphea changes recently. And so, for example, the level 1 Ancestral Strength talent no longer gives an extra chaos. So, or whatever that symbol's called. I need to pull up Orphea again to remember what that's called.
It's chaos.
Is it chaos? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also a level 16 talent that was just buffed a lot, which is that Chomp now slows by 70%, which is huge for an assassin.
Casanova taking a lot of damage, but they have the same thing onto the Uther, once again finding another kill onto them, and this Uther is just getting bullied constantly until they find 10, as we were saying. They're going to struggle a little bit here as Cassia dives in with the Fend, the top lane fort. Mochrie?
Okay.
Trying to make the YouTube plays over here. They do have Festering Wounds at 7, so maybe they're just trying to get more stacks, but
I think that's what happened was he did a WE and didn't realize that he was slowed, and then he realized that he had no escape, so there was nothing that he could do. But did you see how many gems were just dropped? That was a lot of gems just dropped, and down to Dongle's almost to their second turn-in as well, which is going to be crazy. I mean, I would actually really like to hear the comms right now of Easy Money to see how they're going to try to answer this situation.
Let's jump.
Maybe.
I think they're all here.
Look at Rek.
Okay, nice.
Waves coming this lane.
Counter, go down. Walk down.
Lava wave.
Look for waves here, just to get 10s, then we need to look for a fight right away.
Our
Step to me. Step to me.
Come in.
Stun. Oh my god, I didn't fucking get it.
Oh fuck, I got the wrong ult. Hi, yay.
Oh, you went through it? Oh, you have to finish Garrosh then? You can't open on him?
Yeah.
Clearing top.
Care bot, maybe.
Rags mid. No one bot.
Are we going for camp?
Yeah, you can go Bruisers. Honestly, we can give another turn in here.
Backing up.
They get turned in here. We get bruisers. Don't cap.
Oh, sorry.
Interesting comms coming out from them
It
right
is
there. They tried to step up onto that Uther, or excuse me, onto Casanova, I believe it was, with Uther, not able to get the Divine Storm onto them. But you heard it right there in comms. They're fine with just eating a Webweaver phase. They're going to be on the defensive here, but they themselves, they're looking close to almost back-to-back turn-ins after this, so they might go for that on the side of easy money. How are you feeling about this, Paradox?
Yeah, definitely. It's I thought that was an interesting call to hold it. Usually double turn-ins is game changing. So you could lose such a huge advantage to the point you could almost never come back in the competitive scene if you lose a double turn-in phase. And that's exactly what's happening. We have these web weavers, and I called them spider queens earlier. I apologize. Now, yeah, we've got these web weavers that are pushing in, and I mean that's pressure in every single lane. That's all the forts down, and that's going to give control of the entire map to down to Dongle. But we do have those 10s up. We've got some pressure. We've got a lot of vision coming out from Rexar and Misha, just holding each location. I did notice something that we heard from Zane that he mentioned when Cursed Bullet wasn't picked up. He said to KidKerrigan, he's like, you need to be the one to finish off Garrosh. So their focus is to kill Garrosh quickly in these fights and just try to take him out. But it's going to be very difficult against an Anduin and a Garrosh who can just light bomb a Garrosh as he gets low. Big shield, big armor, big everything. And then if he gets lower than that, leap of faith him out. But so far it is... 93 gems are available for easy money whenever they're ready to turn in. They could have a double turn in.
Good stun from ZaneHyde, just to even deny them getting a Warbreaker stack or even just any sort of interrupt right there. On the note of stacks, real quickly, is these Webweavers will descend and teams are just getting into position for this push. 38 stacks on the Sylvanas. Uther has finished their level 1. 17 out of the 25 on the Rexar. Excuse me, for the Hunter-Gatherer, we have the... the Tyrande with the Lunar Blaze at 5 out of the 20. The Wizened Duelist going to be at 1 out of the 30. And then the opposing side, Ragnaros has finished the Shifting Meteor at level 1 and 9 out of the 15 stacks on that Garrosh. But now, blue Webweavers have descended into lanes. Top lane was managed first. We talked about in draft about how much value top lane has due to the fact that you boss up there. So they're going to leave that. There's actually a decent wave up there, but right now their focus is to try and find some sort of value during this Webweaver phase, as mid lane will be managed and cleared. There's going to be a lava wave in bottom lane, and this is going to be pretty much mitigated. I don't know. And yeah, how do you play around this?
Well, so this is one of the challenging parts is in the competitive scene that we've seen in the past. It was very common to see a Rag and a Zag in the same team. Rag would make sure that you got to level 20, and Zag would, Naz, not Zag, Nazeebo. Ooh, that was an interesting combo right
Jaws
there.
Pulling in a couple. There's a toss from the Garrosh onto one. That's going to be the light bomb, or the ball lightning jumping from player to players. That's Misha Bear and the Greymane going down. Toss from Casanova for Selenityy to chase in further, as the blast wave will be there on top of all of that. There are so many gems on the ground, Paradox, that they just turned that around so insanely well for themselves on the side of down to Dongle. Realistically, they actually might be able to make a quick rotation to boss. They've got a great wave in
They
top.
probably could. I mean, but it's 16 seconds until Rexar's up for that. It's very risky, but they could at least pressure. They could destroy front walls. They could just get a free turn in. I mean, they're a little far from an actual turn in. However, but yeah, so Ragnaros was combined with a lot of level 20 power spiked heroes, because you could force the game to last a lot longer on this map, because you would just completely stop it. So it was run a lot of times with Nazeebo, where they would run Ragnaros to make sure that you got to 20, and Nazeebo to where you would dominate once you hit 20. In this case, they don't really have a huge level 20 upgrade. A lot of level 16 things that they have are pretty good. Cassia is pretty strong.
I meant Casanovas. They stepped up over to the camp and they ate so much damage. Sorry to cut you off right there, but
you're good.
That was real risky for them. Sorry, keep going.
Oh no, that's perfectly fine. Yeah, I was just mentioning, like, Cassia's okay at 20. Where I think they're trying to go with it is actually the Orphea. After she got those changes, her level 16 is actually pretty scary. So we may just see something like that, and maybe they don't even need the 20s. Maybe they're just doing it as a defensive tool.
Divine
a lot
Storm
going out onto Casanova.
Greymane dove out as well.
That gone. I mean, can they push this in? I mean, we could see down to Dongle actually just force this fight after. That's a lot of cooldowns. I mean, seriously, that's 3 to 4 ults used on onto Garrosh, and they couldn't even kill Garrosh. So that could be a really interesting turnaround if they decide to take a fight like that again. Level 16, we don't see the new talent coming out from Orphea. However, we do see some interesting talents being picked up. Penetrate on Cassia, as well as... Ooh, wait. We've got a decent fight. Light Bomb?
That's a Light Bomb onto Casanova. That's going to be the question. Jaws pulling in 3. The Ball Lightning jumping from player to player that finds the kill onto Uther, who dropped some significant amount of gems. Mochrie backed up to grab at least 20 of them. They lose those as well. Currently, a chase continues as that's Dr. Pickle. Chastise connects onto the Misha Bear. Oh, they actually end up turning around, not thinking the Chastise was connecting, but they end up getting
This
the
is
full
a
range.
boss play, though.
Absolutely.
This is their tank and their primary damage gone. While Greymane is certainly a lot of damage, I mean, if we just look at the numbers right now, we have Sylvanas doing almost double what Greymane's doing, primarily because KidKerrigan's been focusing on macro, but their primary damage is dead, their tank is dead. That is boss and a turn-in. They can do a boss and then turn in right afterwards. So it looks like that's what's going to happen. We do have a disconnect, so we should be having a pause in just a second here. And with that pause, come on, people, we need to... What we need in here? What do we need in here, Baha? What do we need because of this DC? What would fix all of these DCs right now?
I heard a rumor that if you rub a big-ass bar of soap on your router, it fixes any connectivity issues.
I've heard the same rumor.
I heard it from JHow directly. He messaged me today, and he was like, Bahamut, I have a secret for you. And I was just like, how do you get such good quality streams? And he's just like, the secret is I rub a big-ass bar of soap on my router before every stream. Easy enough.
So the thing is, bubbles give Wi-Fi. No, okay, jokes aside, guys, we haven't talked about the prize pool in a little while, and with all these bits and everything, let's talk about this really quick. Everything that you're doing is going to improve this prize pool. What actually happens with this is that 60% of all the bits, tips, everything that you guys have been throwing in there is going to go, and it's going to break down. Of that 60%, 35% is going to go to first place, 35% is going to go to second place, 15% is going to go to third place, 15% is going to go to fourth place, along with these flat prizes that are already out there, the $500 for first place, $300 for second place, $200 for third place, and $200 for fourth place. All of those are going to be going out, and it is going to help encourage us doing this more often. I mean, look at all of these celebrities that we have. We have the biggest streamers and YouTubers, content creators, ex-pro players that we've ever had in one place all together. And they're just throwing their strategies at each other, having fun. And so, guys, if you want to keep incentivizing everyone to do that, let's get that going. Bits, donos, whatever else we want to add to it is awesome. And then one last time before we get started, guys, we have the giveaway. Tell them type.
You started reading the chat. Yeah, I know.
Well, I was gonna say it, and then I looked over, and then I saw the thing. Oh man, I made okay, guys, type dude soap, no spaces, any amount of capitals that you want to throw in there. Maybe throw a capital every other one. You know, the usual. But guys, do that. That enters you in to win the giveaway, and we will be doing the giveaway later today, and we also are going to keep that giveaway going. Type dude soap in there, and we've got that. And guys, sorry, go Baha. What were you?
Oh,
what do you want to add to this?
I think they're actually going to be doing a giveaway run right now while we're.
Are we doing the giveaway right now?
I think we're going to be doing it while we're kind of waiting for one of these players to get back in here. So this is a good time for you to spam that dude soap in there.
Yeah.
Really quickly as well. ZaneHyde, thank you so much for the 500 bits, my friend, as well as Kaya. Sorry, your webcam zoomed in for me really quickly. Thank you for the 500 bits as well. Really, really appreciate all the support this evening. But yes, spam dude soap in chat. Make sure you're entered in for that one, and you can get yourself some nice new soaps. But I think there's 15 seconds left on that one. They'll pull that very, very soon. You can also highlight your message, that way everyone knows you did type dude soap as well. But looks like we have a small update. There was a bit of an internet outage. They didn't rub a big ass bar of soap on their router before competing, so that happens. But they're relogging. They're on their way back, and we'll get back into our game number 3 in just a second. Now, while we
1,000 bits.
Hello. Thank you so much. So And we just broke down the prize pool for everyone. So anyone who's wondering, like, oh, do the casters just walk out of here with, the 500 bits that Bearstock just gave? No. Bandit does. He worked on an exclusive contract with HHE and Duke Cannon, so he's taking home a little bit of this, but what do you expect? He's probably the best caster in North America. Either way, it's a good way to, one, support the community with the bits. It goes back into the prize pool, as we were noting earlier. 60% overall goes back to these players. There was a breakdown. You can actually might be able to make a command or something like that, so you can check it out, or maybe have that slide up and available for people. We'll figure that out in the future weeks, but we just want there you go, perfect. It's back up, so you can see right there how the breakdown works out. In case you just joined in, you're like, wait, what's going on? Why are there bits? Why does this matter? Why are we like breaking every sort of record that we're setting this evening? Well, it's because of all of you, and you're all amazing. So thank you seriously so much for all the support, even the single bits, the 69s, the 100s, the whatever no amount is too small. Like it goes back to the players, and it helps out the community. And that's the biggest thing about Heroes of the Storm right now is making sure that our community is still together. We're able to put together some prize pools and put together some wonderful matches and weeks of games for you all. So thank you all for being here. Thanks for supporting. And we've got not only this week, but 2 more weeks of regulation play or round robin play. And then we go into our best of 5 finals in February. But right now, it looks like I'm seeing some readies coming out from these teams. And I think we're about to get back into this in just a second once we check through. But any thoughts before we get back into this match, Paradox?
I mean, we've got a boss play. The boss just got picked up, but we do have 16s that are approaching 4. Again, my team flew out of my mind for their second, but blue team anyways. Easy money. And so 16s are there, and they have all of their power spikes they need. They need to answer a boss and a turn in, which, I mean, you talked about this. This is like, hold on. We have a lot of damage. Leap of Faith saves, and then Vipey is just tearing apart that gray main.
Tries to get the crushing jaws in right there. Doesn't land it. But I like this actually from Trikslyr to be able to throw out a little bit of damage and force back the enemy team while the boss pushes up. Webweaver will be right behind that. That Webweaver will descend as far up as the enemy minion wave is. Or as far up as the enemies are, but that's going to be a wonderful go for the throw onto the Garrosh. Ball Lightning went out from the Cassia, but it didn't get a kill on the opposing side. But definitely this is a keep going down. Uther? Divine Storm, maybe? I don't know what happened right there, but Uther and Misha go down. They find the kill into Anduin, but Greymane's going to get picked off as well. That was a bit of an odd engagement. I'm looking up at the... So they did have... No, they didn't have Divine Storm up because it's on 33-second cooldown, so that's weird. I wonder why they stepped back there.
The light bomb, it was a Misha stun and a light bomb on the other side. It just looked a little crazy. It did look like there was another big thing, but yeah, it was a stun from Uther, a stun from Misha, and then the light bomb on the other side, which made it look kind of bigger than it actually was. But what is the best case scenario on this map, Baha? You mentioned it earlier, boss and turn in, and look at how much value that got. Boss and turn in took all 3 keeps. So that is going to be very, very difficult to come back from, especially since level 20s are approaching. 4 down to Dongle. So if they get those level 20s, they probably are just going to walk straight to core. If they can get 2 kills, they win the game.
Pink, thank you for the 100 bits as well. We currently have Vipey grabbing the camp for bottom lane to push that up. Now, since they got all the keeps down, well, at least they got a keep down in each lane, but all 3 of those lanes are going to be having consistent catapult pressure coming through. That Sentinel just taking a bit of a tour of the battlegrounds right there, as they don't really get much vision from that. But as you noted, 20 talent here not too far away, and they should be able to force some fights in their favor on the side up down to Dongle. But I expect Easy Money to back off here, maybe turtle up a bit. Oh, wait, no, they're going to try and take this fight before 20s. Toss goes on to Misha. Shadowstalk used as well. They're going to be poking out onto this, but that should be Misha Bear getting picked off.
Did you see what Casanova did? So what Casanova did is he baited the stun. As Uther went up to stun him, he unstoppable, and then he tried to throw ZaneHyde, and he didn't get the throw on ZaneHyde. He got the throw on Misha. They still got a kill out of that. But if they would have gotten that kill on ZaneHyde right there, they would have closed out this game right now. And it looks like they're still going to try, even with just Misha down. That was an incredible unstoppable, which turned into an amazing kill. Oh, we have a Molten Core on...
God, disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting. They get the biggest swipe with that hammer on that Molten Core form, and they find themselves every single enemy member that is... Oh, all right, hold on. I spoke too soon. Wait for it.
Yeah,
Got to make sure you pad the stats. That's going to be the Rexar going down as well.
And
Core
that
will be
is
falling.
it. GG. Good lord.
Down to Dongle, bring it back in our final best of 3 of the evening, and
They're still undefeated.
You know what? Here, I'll say this. I was making pokes at Trikslyr because they've been playing Dragon Ball Z all week. It only took them 1 game to get back into this, and it showed. I mean, this Ragnaros, 46,000 heroic damage. The opposing side Sylvanas with 42,000. That's, I mean,
He killed it. Trikslyr killed it. I mean, that was
oh
man.
Kagiri asked in chat, how did Trikslyr get it? And the response from chat was, no idea. The reverse sweep is real.
That's it right there. That was brutal. So we just saw. I mean, this is going to really show. This is going to set a precedent for what we're going to be seeing. Oh, are we? We still need to move into the interviews, of course. But this is going to set a really important precedent of where all these teams. We watched all of them play today, and it's going to show us what heroes they want, what heroes they win with. And we see that Ragnaros as a possibility. I mean, Casanova on that Garrosh was terrifying too. We saw Kiyeberries playing an Anduin, tripling the healing of the enemy healer the last game. And then this game, doubling the healing of, out healing both of the enemy healers at the same time. So some heroes that they need to be looking out for in the future weeks.
Anduin, even in this game, 53,900 to the 29,900 roughly from Big Scoop. So it shows like Kiyeberries looks very comfortable. I believe I was reading through Beckwin's. He did like a top 5 coming into this, and he noted Kiyeberries and how she has grown over the past months, if not year, of her play and what she's actually gone into, and she kind of found her roles as support. And it shows here. Like, I was reading that article, and I was like, I don't watch enough of her stream or enough of her heroes play. Like, I'm excited to see how that correlates to what Beckwin's saying. And I think you hit the nail on the head. The Towers of Doom game with the triple healing, this game with the double healing of the opposing side, it shows that she's very comfortable in her role, and she knows what she's doing. She knows how to keep her friendly members alive. This was a really good back and forth from these games. But right now, we got ourselves an interview with
an interview. Let's do it.
I don't know.
Probably don't mention. Oh, I was okay.
Don't mention that. Don't mention
Wait,
it.
what are we not supposed to mention? Hold on. What are we not supposed to mention?
So, how are you guys doing?
Hello. Welcome to our house.
Congratulations on your reverse sweep. It sounds like you all are feeling pretty good after that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Just a little bit. Now, game number 1. Let's talk about that.
We have to.
Is it with a thing actually?
So game number 2.
Yeah. There we go.
No, realistically, like we'll kind of skim over game 1 a little bit here, but going into game number 2, you had that loss to begin with. What's the mentality? What are comms like coming off of a loss, and how do you bring it back to be a fairly dominant force throughout game number 2?
We decided to stop giving them Johanna.
Yeah,
that's true.
I forgot that Johanna was in the game, I think.
Yeah.
And then I remembered that she was in the game. So then I was like, okay, well, the series is free. So it was like, I think it's more like a memory issue than a play issue for the team, because we had to remember that Johanna was a character that existed.
That's fair.
Agreed.
And speaking of game number 2, what did you guys think when they brought out Deathwing and Shogal? Did you guys feel like you were dealing with a bunch of boss battles in World of Warcraft at that point? What was going through your guys' mind when they brought out both of those heroes?
I think that they didn't want me to have fun. I think that was like the important goal of their team, because like they just got farmed by Selly, but I didn't get to do anything. And so I think realistically, like, they're just sleeping on the true number 1 player in the league, Selly, and they just like, just because, oh my god, number 1 player on the article that was written by Beckwin beforehand, whatever, but they just didn't want me to have fun.
I had a lot of fun. I love Lee Ming.
You popped off on that game.
That was all kinds of fun.
That was really good.
I want to say respect, though. Major Cojones pulling out Deathwing and Cho'Gall. That's pretty awesome, man.
Pretty bold.
Yeah, it was pretty bold.
I was not prepared for that whatsoever. Now, let's jump into game 3 here, because Twitch chat asked a question, and I'm asking the same question right now. How does it feel to get Ragnaros here, Trick?
Oh, it's just
because I'm looking at we were talking about your damage, your numbers overall. You topped basically every stat in the game. Was it just basically free win? Were you all pumped up and just like, we just have to get this in the later half of the draft? And also, was this part of the initial draft going into Tomb of Spider Queen?
Yeah, we were talking about some other options to pick up, but like everyone knows Rag is coming, and I figure eventually it'll be banned on Tomb of Spider Queen. So we might as well just, rip it out, get some easy stat numbers, make us look kind of cool, and maybe next week we won't get it. We'll see.
And hey, you know what? I got you here. I gotta apologize. You crushed it today. The DBZ training seems to have worked very well for
I
you.
told you Kakarot's where it's at. That Dragon Ball Z game is so sick, dude. You go Super Saiyan and fight Frieza and stuff, and I just empower that and put it in my body. Nipples out, we owned. It was worth it.
A motto for a team, if I've ever heard one. Paradox, please.
Nipples out. That sounds, yeah. I mean, hey, if your nipples are out, you need a big ass bar of soap. Just saying. That being said, I mean, I gotta ask, just Kiyeberries in particular, you tripled the healing of the enemy healer in game 2 and doubled the healing of the healers in game number 3. And you were the focus. I mean, you were getting charged at in both games. What was going through your mind? How are you playing through all this? Like, what were you thinking this whole time?
Game number 2 is definitely the scariest for me because Deathwing wouldn't leave me alone, and that was upsetting. But again, Selenityy was just popping off and killing their whole team the whole time. So, there's trades in life.
Yeah, it looked scary. Then there was one point in that game too where you were on like the enemy side of the map for a good portion of like interrupting the objective. I'm like, how'd you even get over there? I couldn't even figure it out.
I was chased over there again by Deathwing, and then I just kind of stayed there to keep interrupting him. Casa was saying like, "Can you guys stall for a minute?" And it was like, "Yeah, sure, yeah, this is fine."
But it was pretty awesome. And then one props, and then maybe one extra question after that. But Casanova, I saw there was a moment where you were trying to bait Zane in. So you were letting Zane walk in with the Uther, and then right as he got the stun, you unstoppable it, and then tried to throw him right afterwards. It was pretty slick. I saw that. I don't know if that was your entire plan or if you had planned it further than that, but that was pretty slick.
Yeah, I kept trying to let them like kill me. I was trying to like have them stun me and use everything and have Kai pull me out. And sometimes they did a little bit more damage than I thought they would do. But most of the time, I mean, at the end for us to end the game, it worked perfectly. Kai hit it like just in time, and they threw literally like D-Storm, Wailing Arrow, everything all at an empty location because I had been pulled away. So I was just always letting him stun me. I just sometimes I died and sometimes I didn't.
It was pretty solid. One quick question about the draft. You guys ban Tassadar every game, and naturally it's probably because Mochrie likes to play Tracer, but I am curious about what your idea for banning Tassadar instead of just banning Tracer was. Were you worried that if you banned Tracer, they would have still just ran the same comp with Tas, but they would have just done it with Vala instead? Or was there another reason for that?
I mean, he can pick Tracer if he wants. If he doesn't have Tas, I don't even think the character's good, so...
Yeah, we weren't worried about the Tracer whatsoever. We've seen him played it. Whatever. So we take away the Tassadar, so it can't be enabled, and just move forward.
Yeah. Like, Macaroni's, like, decent at Tracer, but I don't know if, like, it would have been that good of a pick here. I think we would have had answers.
Yeah, I think the Tracer just been nerfed way too much, and people putting way too much stock into it. Like, she's weak, you sneeze on her, she dies, so I'm confident in our team to clean it up.
No worries.
Macaroni?
Alrighty, Baha, on to you.
That is, I've never heard that one before. Dear Lord. Just to kind of close things out here before we maybe get to some shoutouts. Next week, you're going to be going up against Team A, and that is going to be the KTLs. Do you worried about that at all? Are you excited about that matchup? Anything that you're going to be studying or prepping for that one?
Who?
That's the team that we thought we were playing.
Wait, no, wait, actually who? Wait, what did you say?
That's Leon Black, Liam, Tatsuki, Kagiri.
Oh, okay.
Does the answer not change essentially still? That's how it's sounding from me right now?
Sure, yeah. Who?
Wait, what was the question?
I didn't know who we're going up against today.
I'm sorry, I was looking at chat because I guess I won something.
Congrats, Cel, you won!
Yeah, you won more than one thing today. Yay!
That's so for dudes.
Nice. Yeah.
You got soap for your dishwasher. Yay!
Yes.
Top rack.
Dishwasher soap. Yeah.
What was the question?
Realistic. Next week, you're going to be going up against Team A, which is the KTLs. Are you excited, worried? Any sort of preparation you're going to be doing for that?
I think Leon's a good player, and I respect him a lot. And the fact is, he plays a lot more than me nowadays, and I gotta tank against him. So I think it'll be probably one of the better matches.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared of Liam and Leon as well. I just feel like their armpits are slip and slides. Like, they're fucking sweaty. And I'm sorry, can I cuss? They're freaking sweaty, man. And so I'm kind of terrified to face them, but, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we haven't had a swear word all day. It's okay.
Okay, all right, good.
We've not heard one single swear word. It is a squeaky clean stream.
Yeah.
So we still haven't heard one up to this point. And
dang it, man.
So it's all
My
good.
bad.
We tend to run a really clean ship here, so that makes
Yeah.
I'm getting fined.
10K right there. Put it into the donations. Enjoy.
But no, the games were so much fun. The matches were a blast. Thank you so much for the interview. But before we let you roll out of here, are there any shots that you'd like to give? I guess we can kind of start in the Discord order with Casanova.
Shout outs. Just shout out to you guys. Shout out to Heroes Hearth for putting on the show. Shout out to Jules for always making things come together. McIntyre, the whole crew, all you guys. Look at you. Look at us.
Who would have thought?
Look at us.
All right.
Yeah. Anyone else? Kiyeberries, Selenityy, Trikslyr, Vipey.
Yeah, shout out to Workhorse for randomly tweeting at Duke Cannon asking if you'd like to quote unquote fund our stupid internet idea. So I'm glad that worked out and that we can all be here thanks to Duke Cannon and their soap and Workhorse's ridiculous tweet. That's my shout out.
Your turn, Sel.
Okay. I want to say thank you for having us and organizing all this and allowing us to stream it from our point of view. And shout out to Zach restarting the internet real quick when that happened. Monk ass. And shout out to chat for being awesome and watching and enjoying all the content.
Shout outs to Working Internet. We love you. Thank you so much. Shout outs to HHE for putting this together. And then, of course, if you want to watch a wholesome, relatable, and very, very kind streamer, you can check me out at twitch.tv/moonfair. Vipey, it's your turn. It's your turn, Vipey.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Can I go after it? I don't think I can. I'd like to thank the Academy and Dawn, just soap. Yeah, thanks for having me. It was really fun. I love the team that I'm on. And yeah, I can't wait to do more of these. Thanks.
Well, thank you all for the interview. Thank you so much for the games. And we all look forward to seeing you all further down in the CCL season. Have a great night and congratulations once again on your 2-1 victory.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Well, Paradox, I believe that is going to be closing things out for this evening.
I believe so. There's only just a few things that we'll probably mention before we go. Have we mentioned Duke Cannon yet? I've already used that joke. So, Duke Cannon, guys, if you don't know, Big Ass Bar Soap, they have a bunch of other awesome hygiene supplies. They are sophisticated, manly, but they also have some really, really awesome scents. I say manly, but honestly, you can go check out their website. They've got stuff for everyone. You can save 15% by heading over there, picking up stuff, putting it in your cart, and putting in HHE15. Heroes Hearth Entertainment 15. Here's Hearth Entertainment. I know the E's entertainment. I'm just emphasizing,
15.
but
Yeah.
we're
No, I got
okay.
you.
15 for 15% off. Not only that, guys, giveaway. I believe we've done all of the giveaway stuff, but remember what you need to say because it's going to be another one next week. Because I don't believe we're doing another giveaway tonight. Week 3. We will be doing another giveaway.
Yeah, we'll have giveaways once again in week 3, but we might scrounge some things up. Bandit might have some things to give away as well.
Ooh, Bandit's got stuff to give away.
Stay tuned. We'll figure all that out. I'm gonna make open-ended promises right there, but I'll be honest. So we had a lot of really good games this evening. But I think this is only the beginning of the story that we're starting to see. I personally think, as they even said, the members of Down to Dongle versus the KTLs next week is going to be a very, very strong matchup. But I don't want to take away from Easy Money versus Upstanding Citizens. Those are both very, very strong teams. I just think there's going to be a little bit more rivalry between the KTLs versus Down to Dongle, and I'm already excited for that. And just out of curiosity, when is this starting up again? Like, when's the next time we're going to be able to see all this, Paradox?
Same time, Wednesday. And if you don't know the time, it is going to be Wednesday, January 29th, 8 p.m. Central. If you're Pacific, 6 p.m. Pacific. For everything else, use a calculator because I only know those 2 times. Jokes aside, same time next Wednesday. We will be seeing that. Then again, we will be available the next week and again the next week. So for the next 3 weeks, we are going to be here. Same time, ready to go. We have the same teams next time, but they're going to be going against different people, and they've learned from their previous matches. They will have had more time to practice. Should be a lot of fun to see how that plays out. That being said, one more time, you guys are helping to raise this prize pool, okay? So the way that this prize pool breaks down, we have 60% of everything that you guys are throwing in, bits, tips, donos, everything like that is going to be going into this prize pool. 60% of that is going to be broken down between the winning teams to make sure that they're incentivized to play seriously. We saw some crazy competition today and a lot of coordination that we haven't seen in a long time. This was awesome, and we will be able to keep that going as well. Throughout the week. We broke so many records today too. We broke everything that we were trying to go for. I love it. But it was awesome. So guys, Duke Cannon, all of that. Now, Baha, where can they find you?
You can find me over at Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, anything at Bahamut Gaming. I typically cast Monday through Thursday. Heroes of the Storm, you can find me live around 5 o'clock PST, 8 o'clock if you're on the East Coast, and then everywhere else in between. But yeah, typically Monday through Thursday, I talk a lot about Heroes of the Storm. Bandit's usually my co-caster. I had to give that up. That's why he's got the big HHE contract, because he's literally being paid not to cast. That's how good he is. So you definitely want to come by and check those out. But if you want to watch any VODs or anything like that, you can also check that out on the YouTube page.
And while Baha, you had the smarts to have Bahamut Gaming on everything, every single one of my platforms, I have something different. So I recommend youtube.com/NotParadox for 90% of the stuff that I do. And you can Google NotParadox to find everything else. And that is really where you can find me. But don't forget to follow Heroes Hearth on everything. Twitter, follow it on Twitch, give it a sub, everything. YouTube, everything. LinkedIn. Follow. If you guys don't even have an account on Heroes Hearth, I think you're crazy, because you can check out a bunch of awesome guides. Everything from each little hero down to every little detail about every single map, tier lists, and everything in between. So if you haven't checked out Heroes Hearth's website, check that out as well. And I believe that is everything for tonight. But, guys, again, make sure to be here next Wednesday, because we've been having a lot of fun, and the fun is just beginning.